Hello, everyone. Before we get started on this week's episode, just a quick word that YouTube, in all its infinite wisdom, has decided that some of the Die Party games are now not suitable for advertising. It doesn't mean a whole lot for the content. I'm not going to censor the videos in any way, but if you'd like to lend your support so that Die Party can continue to grow, please check out the Patreon or subscribe on the Twitch channel. Enjoy the episode. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Die Party Kingdom 2020, our Cyberpunk 2020 adventure, right here on Twitch. I realize I have to move some people's cameras around. Give me 1 second, and then I think we'll be good. But yeah, welcome back for another week. We're down a Lobo, but we're going to keep this party train a-rolling, because that's how we do here. But yeah, let's go around and introduce everyone who'll be playing with us today. At first, we have none other than Miss Lilypad Nebula. What up? How you doing? How's your week been?
What's up? I am good. Haven't been up to too much work. I'm working on some stuff in my spare time. I'm trying to make an app, so that's a cool thing.
Yeah, I saw your tweet about that. Is this like a mobile phone app? Like, what is this?
Yeah, like a Android iPhone app thing. I wanted to make a little collection of stuff that would help for people playing tabletop games. So like it'll have stuff like a clock tracker, so you can keep track of like projects and stuff. A little like NPC generator. Stuff like what was all my stuff? I had a bunch of things planned. I don't remember all of them at the moment, but it's coming along, which is cool. The clock tracker's done. The NPC generator is like getting there. And then I'll add a few more stuff, and that should be good for people to mess around with. But yeah, once I get everything figured out, that started going pretty well. So that's pretty cool. Besides that, not too much is going on with me.
So going back to your app real quick.
Yeah.
When I was working in R&D a couple of years back, I came across this guy, and his entire tech that he was building was to. Do you know what the AR is?
Yeah,
Like
augmented reality.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And his entire tech was to take little tiny pieces of paper with a QR code printed on them, and basically assign to them like models, and put it through an app that allowed people to create their own QR codes with a model assigned to it, so that you could create entire sprawling campaigns for D&D based on those little tiny pieces of paper. But the technology was so good that they could be like, okay, let's actually, like for example, this one piece of QR code, this little piece of paper is a giant castle, and all the castles has like entire like rooms like stipulated in it, and like a village and like a forest or whatever. But if you looked at it from like a perspective of the camera, it would actually remove everything. Like, so let's say you have like a goblin or a human inside the forest. It would remove all of the forest in front of the person that you're trying to look at. So if you're on one side of the table,
fog of war?
Or not fog of war, but if you're on one side of the table and another person was on another, it would do the isometric game thing of like removing the walls in front of the person you're trying to look at.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
It was actually really smart.
Sounds awesome, yeah.
Yeah, and honestly, like if I was to like try and build and back and sell a piece of technology related to tabletop stuff, it would be like an application that allowed that stuff to come to life. So what people could do essentially was they could set up a camera, and they could basically point it at like a tabletop, and they could essentially like just move these little miniatures around on like a thing, and people would see miniatures, but like the camera would pick up this massive sprawling like breathing world with like grass moving and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
was actually really cool, and that was just based on like a database of models and a mobile phone app. So
yeah, right.
yeah,
I'd love to play something like that.
Yeah,
Awesome, yeah.
the problem with anything like that, and the problem with anything that uses like actual 3D models, is like there's only so much you can actually see before you've seen it all, and there's no way that you can, there's a reason why.
Problem with No Man's Sky.
Yeah, I mean there's a reason why palette swaps exist in video games, right? Like there is a certain upper limit to how much artwork you can put into it. But if it gets popular, you can have as many people submitting art as possible. Anyway, to get back to your app, there's something you should add, because you were asking for things if people should add something. So go ahead and add that, and yeah.
Sounds a little complicated. Maybe once I get it all set, then I'll try it. Yeah, then I'll figure out AR.
But like, I don't know, if I was to have companion app, because they have that D&D one now. Ideally, I would want to be able to create files that other people can access.
Mm-hmm.
So like maybe you could make like a room as a GM, and you can have like files that everyone that joins that particular room.
Yeah, that'd be pretty sweet too.
Kind of like a Dropbox almost, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that'd be pretty sweet. There might be like phase 2 or something.
I wouldn't think that shared asset folders would be too complicated, but I don't know anything about all that, so I'm keeping this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just fucking eating chips because I'm an asshole.
Yeah, you hungry? You hungry? You gotta eat.
Yeah. So tell me,
Yeah, man.
So tell me more about your weekly games, Lily. Have you been playing any? I know that you said that you're it's a little dry spell for you right now, but
a little dry. Stream wise, I've only got this one, and then we still have the Wednesday night one with just regular D&D going. I've got one off stream that's just a friend thing. But the show we've got still on the channel still going is pretty good. Friday night one is that's off stream is fun. And then this one. But yeah, that's all I have right now. Trying to get into more stuff, but yeah, just still looking around for things.
The off stream one, how awkward is it to play in? Because I tend to find that when I play role playing games off stream, there's a very different vibe to them, I would say.
It's not really awkward. It's just it's people I already know really well and stuff. So like, it's not like it's just we didn't want to be streaming it just as we just wanted to play something and very cash. So
very cash.
Yep, that's going. Yeah, they're all going good. I just don't have a lot right now.
Yeah, I feel you. Outside of this game, Noose, and my Sunday game, I don't play in a lot. Like, I want to get back to being an actual player in a lot of these games.
Yeah.
But you know how it is. There's always that conundrum of like, well, no one's going to GM, so
right.
I guess it falls onto me to be the GM.
Yep.
Like, I want to play the new vampire game. I don't want to GM the new vampire game. I want to play in it. I
right.
There's that new Witcher game that came out that I want to play in. I don't want to GM that one either. Like, it sucks, but.
Yep.
Well, speaking about being a player, let's go on over to Atomic. What up, sir? How you doing?
Not too much. Just unpacking and got some new stuff set up for my new Pathfinder games that are going to take up my Saturday nights. And then we're also, buddy of mine and I are working on taking like the Nazi occult stuff and then making a module for that for Pathfinder, because there's already rules for like World War I era combat weapons, that sort of thing. But we want to do like tanks and shit. Mm-hmm. So we're trying to figure all that out. No, I mean, this is mostly just storyboarding it, but good turn.
Just watch Hellboy. It's a historical drama.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But it's a lot of like the, we know what the effective armor thickness of an M4 Sherman is, but how do we take, a Panzer IV firing a shell at it. How are we going to do that? Break all that down to dice rolls and other stuff. So that's mostly the problems we're trying to work through. But I mean, it should be worth the effort.
I mean, you could just essentially have armor piercing rounds be you half the armor, but you also half the damage of the round and stuff like that.
Yeah, we're thinking of co-opting some of the rules from some of the Warhammer 40k RPGs, like only war. We play as Imperial Guard. There's a lot of armor and stuff involved, but we're trying to do more because the people who will be playing it we're all history nerds, so we all know the stats. We know, so we're trying to combination of World War II, wargaming, and Pathfinder all shoved into one. So we did a couple months ago. We did an XCOM meets Pathfinder thing that worked out pretty well. So we're just coming up with stuff that we would like to play and going from there. So,
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, how's the stream going at all?
It's been, I haven't really been streaming a whole lot recently, just due to obviously moving, unpacking. I mean, I guess you could do an unboxing stream, but it's all my shit that no one wants to see, so it's not really the same thing. But
yeah, I don't really understand that shit. If I'm setting up my computer and stuff like that, it might be interesting because I have the world's weirdest audio setup. But outside of that, I don't well, this cable's not long enough. Guess I have to fucking go buy a new one. All right, bye.
Yeah. Well, I've got a desk. It's called the Oboto Revolution. It's like a cockpit. I think I've posted a picture of it before, but everything's made of metal. Everything's held together with bolts and crush washers and everything else. So it's mostly just a lot of swearing, a lot of wrenches being thrown, and more swearing. And that's pretty much most of my setup stuff. So I don't know anybody would want to watch it. But I'm hoping to be able to stream some of the new WoW stuff. But expansion dropped 2 hours ago. I'm on one of the most high pop servers in AA, and it's been down for the past hour and 45 minutes. So fun times. Fighting that loading screen boss. Yeah.
So I'm not screwing everyone over. That's kind of interesting.
No, Blizzard took care of that one for you. Don't worry.
So just so everyone's aware, we had a little snafu. I wouldn't say snafu, but basically everyone in the Kingdom 2020 chat, or a majority of the players here were like, "Oh fuck, the new WoW thing drops 2 hours before the game. Well, tough decisions need to be made tonight."
Well, I mean, yes and no. Generally, it releases at midnight. This is the first time in the 14 years of the game that they've done a simultaneous worldwide release. So it's 12 a.m. Central European time, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I didn't realize that until 2 days beforehand. So I was like, well, I'm not going to fuck everybody else over. But it was just Yeah. But I don't feel bad now because nobody from my server is able to play. So
except for the thousands of people that can.
Well, yeah, it's all the high pop servers are the ones that are screwed over. Yeah. So it is what it is. But what can you do?
Not much. Well, Lobo is, as I said, gone for this week. He said that he's helping a friend get over a breakup, but this might just be code for WoW. Thinking about it now, so well.
WoW does cause plenty of breakups.
Yeah.
I
like to imagine it was a
friend of 3.5 years in Warcraft. So,
ooh. I like the idea that it was an ultimatum brought down. It's like it's our anniversary on the same day that the new WoW expansion comes out, and an ultimatum was made. Pick one, and he picked WoW. So technically,
so let's roll 1d2.
So yeah, doctorsirus, my man, how's your week been? Give us the lowdown.
Rather boring. I've mostly been landscaping the entire week.
Yeah, what is landscaping normally comprised of these days? Because back in my day, it was like, well, we could put grass in, but we could just do rocks instead. That way, no one has to mow the lawn. So,
well, for me, it's cutting down trees and burning brush piles. Yeah. I live in the middle of a forest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Do you ever like how far away from civilization are we talking here? Are you like almost the Blair Witch Project removed, or like where are we sitting?
You mean like the nearest population center?
Well, I mean, like, how likely is it for you to stumble across like a dead body? Like, what's the deal there?
About 30%.
I think I might have hit on a sore spot there. It's just like, well, I mean, I saw one last week, so I mean,
Yeah, we have. My mom actually has worked for the county dispatch, and she's actually gotten a fair few of those. Mostly it's people boating on the river. So we have people who just sort of disappear, kind of commonly, actually. I'm not sure why. I really don't.
alcohol and bear fighting.
Yeah.
Well, like, there is actually a bear out there.
I used to live in near the biggest, well, I guess Typical and I both lived, the biggest like man-made lake in the state of Alabama or whatever, and people would go missing around there all the time just because, exactly, alcohol and boats, and drunk people can't swim very well.
Oh, nope.
That's Darwinism and natural selection in its finest. So, But yeah, aside from burning down the entire forest, what else have you been up to?
That's actually been it. I have a boring life.
Oh.
I've been trying to actually get Steam to working because I've played all my games like forever. Got any recommendations for something?
BattleTech.
Stellaris.
BattleTech?
Yeah,
BattleTech. If you like MechWarrior at all, BattleTech should be, it's pretty true to the tabletop.
How's this Dead Cells that I've been hearing about?
Well, they actually just released a new one of those. Dead Cells is really good, but they also just released Death's Gambit. That gets coming out on the 14th. So today, for me. But that one looks pretty good too. Like if you're into Dark Souls and shit like that. So, you know.
I'm more of like a survival genre kind of guy, but yeah, I want to expand that. I've played it too much.
I don't know. I think the next biggest thing for the survival genre is probably going to be like Fallout 76, I guess. But that comes out like ages away from now, for like a month or two. So
I love Fallout, and I don't know how divisive my comment or opinion on it might be, but that game looks like crap.
I mean, it's a spin-off and whatever. Like, I think it'll be fine. I think it'll be a fun time. I think too many people are putting too much emphasis on Bethesda's writing, because when I think about Fallout games, I don't necessarily think about the story of Fallout games. In fact, the only time that the story comes up is like how stupid the fucking logic loopholes I have to jump through is to like make those stories work. Like Fallout 3 being like, oh yeah, I won't take away this fucking suicidal death at the end of the game for you, even though I have a super mutant with me and he can just go into this radiation chamber and not die. But sure, you know, I'll go in there and kill myself to work out where my dad is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like when I think of the story, I don't think of good things for that game. I think of like, yeah, okay, whatever. It serves
one of
as
the biggest things.
It serves as a fucking mechanism to allow me to start looting and shooting raiders in the wasteland, you know, like.
Yeah. And it's a mod platform, more or less. I mean, the modders fix a lot, which is my biggest thing. I think I mentioned this back when you were streaming Fallout 4. And it was the longevity of Bethesda's games is heavily revolves around the modding community and stuff like that. So with it being like, how's that all going to work out and everything else? So it'll be interesting to see, but
server mods are a thing. Like that is an absolute thing that modification. Like anyone who's just like, oh, I won't be able to mod this game is obviously never modded. Like there were mods for Diablo 2 that were based on entirely on the server. So people would run like custom servers and put their mods onto it. So you can change. Like modding isn't just local client side stuff. It's also like.
Well, that's how Minecraft does it too.
Yeah, Minecraft, and I guess
like
Ark does it as well. Like Like, there are plenty of games that do that sort of shit, so it's not impossible to believe that.
Yeah, as long as you can have your own servers, you should be able to do whatever.
Yeah, and they have, like, I was watching the QuakeCon, that's what it's called, video of it, and they did mention that, yeah, we're working on the private servers, but the reality is that right now they want their game to be the way that is. I think the biggest problem that Bethesda has is that they're receiving all of this like feedback from people who've never played the fucking game, stating what they want in the game, and it's clearly coloring what the result of that game is going to be. Like, for example, everyone's just like, oh, I don't want to do PvP, so now they've got this weird sort of, when I shoot you with a gun, I'm only going to do like a smidgen of damage. But if you engage back with me, then we start doing full damage with each other. But if anyone's ever played any sort of like survival multiplayer server thing, it's like...
That is not how it works.
That is not how it works, like...
Why don't they just do the thing like in GTA where you can turn on and off?
That's exactly what it is. Like, you can go into passive mode and all this other stuff and like... I don't know, if they don't have NPCs in the game, if they don't have any way of, like, pushing a story forward outside of, like, people being assholes on the internet, then I don't know what's left in that game. I mean, I'm still going to play it, obviously, because I'm an idiot, but, like...
I got nothing against Bethesda. I just don't think they make good RPG games.
I mean, you say that, but they're like the best-selling RPG games on the fucking market.
Well, yeah, but that doesn't mean I think they're good.
Yeah,
but just personal opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
they're okay.
But to answer your questions, I guess the next game that I'm working forward to is the new Valkyria Chronicles that's coming out in like September. But aside from that, I don't know. Some video games are coming back into fashion now, so there's tons of them at the moment. Tons of them.
Did you hear about that Tetris movie?
Oh, what the fuck? Why? Is it about the development of Tetris? Because that'd be interesting. If it's not that, then I don't know.
I don't know specifics, but yeah, they're actually greenlighting a Tetris movie, and I don't think it's like a documentary. Like, it's actual Tetris.
The Rock is a bomb diffuser, and he's inside a really big building. Right? And the building's set to explode and thousands of people are going to die. Unless he can figure out how to clear these blocks from this bomb. Tetris. There you go. Boom.
Or it's like one of those like buildings in Japan with like the giant rotating buildings like full of cars that you got to like just like rotate to like find the correct combination.
I think the best video game like that episode of Futurama where they did the Space Invaders thing. It's like that's the best way to do it. Like, just doesn't need to go any further than that. Don't make a fucking movie. Why?
Well, I mean, they made the Doom movie, and then they did that first person shooter nod section.
Oh,
that was awesome.
Oh yeah, I know.
But the actual Doom movie was kind of like, aha! We let the demons out, but we only went one level down, and then we closed it up because we're too scared to go to hell. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's not even call them demons.
Yeah.
Slightly off topic. There was a thing on Reddit like 2 weeks ago. Somebody said canonically the Doom Marine is Catholic. Like, he meets all the check boxes that the Doom guy could be Pope. Like, I'd vote for. I'd be about that. Doom Marine for Pope. Yeah.
Fucking id Tech secretly pushing the fucking Christian agenda.
Actually, if they made it like the 80s exploitation movies where like the Pope was secretly the Doom Marine, like Pope by day, Doom Marine at night, I would love to watch that movie.
I think the Pope aspect would be the most boring part, though, right? That's just like what was Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter, I think, was a movie that did that similarly. And it was just like, cool, yeah. I mean, the title of the movie literally explains the entire premise of the movie. So it was like, cool, I guess.
I like that movie, but it took itself way too seriously.
Yeah, and anything with the Pope in it will probably do the same thing. Speaking about the Pope, Blind Watchman, what's going on, man? Tell me about your week. What's happening?
I've been playing Dragon Age 2, trying to get all the trophies in that. And some Mortal Kombat 9. That's about it. But I do have to say I'm probably furthest from the Pope, seeing as I'm atheist.
Actually, you bring up a good point, Lily. You've been playing a shitload of that Dragon Ball Z fighting game, right?
Yes.
Can you tell me about it? Because I all I know from you is like, Goten's dabs.
He does.
That's about all I know. Like,
I don't know what the proper pronoun is for a fused being, but yes, Gotenks dabs when you win. So game of the year, basically. No, yeah, it's a fighty game. I like Dragon Ball, so it's cool. It's at least for me. I've never been much of I'm trying to get into it and like learn how to be not terrible, but like you can be terrible and still do okay at it because like they've got a lot of like easy moves basically that you can do, and then you can get more into the like juggly combos and shit.
See, for me, this is how I go with fighting games, right? I play it, I have a good time, and then I try and learn the character, and then I have a bad time. Like, it's like, oh, cool, I like this character. I like the flow of it. I like the fact that I can kick really hard, and I like that I can spin across the map. That's cool. And then I try and learn it, and then I try and execute the attacks when I need to. I can never fucking do it. I just can't do it. I'm just garbage at it. So
in fighting games, I only learn one combo and learn how to wrap a special move in it at the end, and then I kill things.
But speaking about fighting games, what's that?
I learned how to lose.
Speaking about fighting games, I'm definitely going to be picking up the new Smash that comes out. So I don't know. Anyone else here picking that shit up?
Maybe. Probably.
I don't have any consoles.
Probably not.
I work a fast food job. That's not in the cards for me.
What? Oh, you mean like you can't afford it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I was about to say, dude, what kind of fast food job has so many hours in the day that you can't play video games?
Oh no, I can't afford that stuff.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, I guess I'll just fucking play Smash by myself.
Just gotta chase the cat out of here.
Look, man, if they do a remake of F-Zero Grand Prix, maybe I'll be about it. Well, that's about it.
I bought the Switch specifically for Pokemon, and then their Pokemon game that they came out that they're going to release was like, eh.
Well, they're gonna make an actual one after Let's Go comes out.
I know, but at the same time, just kind of sitting there just being like, come on. Come on. Just do it.
Don't let your dreams be dreams.
Exactly. All right. So we'll get started in just a sec. I'm going to go grab some water real quick because I forgot to do that. Because I'm going to be talking a lot this session because...
Fair.
You know, GM and all that. So 1 second, I'll be right back. And we can get started.
Shit break.
Are we on break?
I don't think he put it to it from what I'm seeing on the Twitch.
Okay. Hi, everybody. How's it going? Having fun?
Dave's gone. Post memes in chat. Spam the chat with me.
Maximum meme engaged.
There.
Yes. The meme is.
I don't see enough memes.
Oh man, the Warcraft memes have just been off the charts tonight. It's World of Warcraft Battle for Azeroth, but it's like Battle for Authentication because nobody can log into the fucking game.
Is that enough memes, Atomic?
There's never enough sweet memes.
Well, you didn't put it to break, so we had to entertain people somehow.
I told people to spam me.
So we just started we put memes.
Alrighty, so ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the second week. So, given what happened in the last week, like that is basically the verbatim how the game plays. I'm going to institute some rule changes right now. In the last version of Cyberpunk that we ran, we actually did change handguns to be a little bit better, specifically to the distance that is applicable for handguns. Now, this came under the recommendation from Typical GM. He played in the original Night City game, and he's a bit of a gun nut. So he said that a good way to balance the handguns would be to increase the maximum range to about 100 meters. So that's what we're going to do here. Essentially, the breakdown is a little different now. Let me just pull up what that looks like. All right, combat cheat sheet. All right, so right now pistols are DC 15 is 12 meters, DC 20 is 25 meters, DC 25 is 50 meters, and DC 30 is 100 meters.
Okay.
We are going to change the DC, the close, so DC 15 to be 25, maximum of 25 meters. Medium is going to be 50. Long range, medium is 20, by the way. Long range is now 100. And extreme is now 150 meters. So if you want to shoot up to 150 meters, it's DC 30. To put in perspective, SMGs are further firing. They use the same sort of caliber pistol ammunition, and they have higher rate of fire. So it doesn't make pistols like godlike in any stretch of the means, but it means that the distances that we were struggling to cover in the last episode aren't going to be too much of a factor anymore. The other thing I'm going to be doing is speeding up the game from 3.2 seconds to 6.4 seconds a turn. And that means two things. The first is that it doubles the movement allowance that you currently have. You don't go changing it on your sheets, though, because we'll just... there'll be times when we go back to the normal speed. Like, for example, if it's inside of, like, a bar, for example... the speed of the rounds isn't going to change that much. But when we're outside and the big distances to cover, we'll just change the speed, just increase the speed of the game so that, we're not spending 3.5 hours moving our characters into position, right? So that also means that the cost of doing additional things goes down by 1 as well. So instead of it being -3 to do something after you shoot a second time, it's going to be -2. Mostly because of how that works, and half of 3 rounded up is still 2. So, and that's the things that I'm changing. And hopefully that'll mean that people who have handguns as their career skills, like I think the Fixer has it, and maybe the Netrunner. I don't know, but we don't have any net runs in it. But Lily, you're a Fixer, yeah? So it means that your career skills aren't going to be useless. However, I am also allowing everyone here to modify their starting attributes, not attributes, skills, to move them into, say, SMG or a higher caliber type of gun, and also refund the handgun purchases that they made if they want to change that up as well. So is there anyone here who wants to do any sort of character changes before we get started?
I did that right before we started. I switched to an SMG.
What's your character class?
I am a tacky.
Tacky. Okay. Uh-huh. Let's take a look at your sheet and make sure it looks good. Okay, yeah, so you just swapped handgun to SMG.
Yeah.
Did you swap your gun over?
I did. I just haven't changed the cost yet. I've forgotten where I do that.
Mm-hmm. So what was your last gun that you had?
It was the Colt. 1 second, I can pull up the
Colt was
thing.
500. Yep. So yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
They're just both 500, so that's fine by me.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Perfect. Anyone else making changes?
Nope.
Nope.
I made a few to my secondary skills, but
Yeah.
that's it.
Okay.
I already put them in.
All right. What did you change?
I doubled up on awareness and notice, and I missed that. So I took those 2 points and I put them into chemistry instead.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's it.
Oh, I see what you're saying. You had awareness / notice in your secondary skills. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Alrighty then. So.
And that's it for me.
Atomic, you're good.
Yeah, I changed my stuff over from a handgun to a rifle, I believe, and changed the did the pistol refund or whatever and bought something.
All right, what do we got here? Let's take a look. So you got the Militech Ronin Light Assault. What did you have previously? Because rifles are like on the expensive side. Oh no, this one's like 450, so that's not so bad.
Yeah, I still had some money left over too.
Mm-hmm.
So it really wasn't a whole lot to split the difference.
Yeah. Okay. All right, that's fine by me. Yeah. Cool. All right. So the end of the last session, you guys were fighting some chromas in your in the upper east side of basically where your territory is. And that was the entire introduction of the actual game. We didn't get a whole lot into like the social aspects, because I thought the combat would be like, maybe 30 minutes and then we'll get to something else. But as it turns out, breaking it down and doing it so focused on the actual distances and shit like that, which is the way this game is supposed to be played, and this is the first time I've played this game like this, obviously changed how things work. So with that in mind, you guys basically have captured one of these chromas. Now, if you do remember, you were asked not to kill any of them, and you haven't killed any of them. But this guy was crushed by a garbage can, like a dumpster.
Garbage day.
Yeah. So
Garbage day?
I'll take care of him. I got plans for him. I'll take care of him.
what does that mean?
I think he's saying that in
like-
character.
Yeah, like I would like, as in character, I would like to bring him back to like someplace kind of isolated but near our base and question him. But we'll keep that for like in a minute.
As long as the body doesn't turn up in the Upper East End, I don't think anyone will care.
That's all Barbell said. No bodies here.
Oh, Barbell said, yeah, he didn't want anyone dead, at least this time. But don't worry about him.
Mm-hmm.
So,
These
like,
are
are we?
False.
So, are we like Are we back at HQ, or are we on our way back, or are we still in the street, or what?
Now, give me an idea what you want to do with this man. You said you want to take him somewhere.
I say like the fight like just ended.
Mhm.
Like we'll like call up some of the boys, get our wounded back. Probably get flatbed for Donnie,
I'm putting my fingers back on.
and I'd like to get like just like an isolated room basically for this guy, because I'm gonna like check him over, like bandage his wounds and whatnot, and question him.
To what end? What are you trying to find?
Well, two things mostly. One, I don't think will get very far. Like, first, I want to ask him who installed his cyberware, see if that's like just. I don't think that will lead anywhere, but I just want to know for later. And secondly, all these chromers had the same gun, an Uzi, and I'd like to know who supplied them, because if you want to get like lots of guns, like the same make, same model, you usually have to buy them in bulk. So I want to know if there's like a gun runner running around in our area unchecked, or if someone is dealing under the table. Mm-hmm. And if we do have someone who is like dealing to other gangs, I want to know about that real quick.
All right. Well, this is definitely, like, from what you understand, the terminology that you're using that you need to understand here is that what you're looking for is a fixer, right? Okay. These are this is basically what Lily's character class does. They essentially put the person in need, aka in this case a gang of street toughs, in cooperation or collaboration with someone who has product to sell, and then they take a middle cut, and basically that's how they work. So in a lot of cases, the gun runners are actually fixers themselves who basically buy product based on the need of their employees or their contractors, I guess. So if you want, you can interrogate him to attempt to find the name of this fixer. But as in terms of like this actual city, it is not unusual for people to have guns. In fact, it's more unusual for people to not have guns, if that makes any sense. This is a type of city where like it's better off to assume people are armed than they are not. So the fact that people have a very basic model Uzi is not unusual. And in a lot of cases, you can even buy this sort of stuff from most security. Like, it's America in the cybertech future. You can buy these from most stores without problems. To give you an idea, if you actually go to the actual book itself, there is a section called availability on each of the guns. And the Uzi that you're looking at is excellent, and that is described as can be found almost anywhere. Common, on the other hand, you need to go to a gun store to find. So anything in the E section literally means like you could probably buy it from like the guy who sells you coffee in the morning. You know, like he'll just be like, "Hey, do you have an extra Uzi I can buy?" And they'll be like, "Yeah, fuck it, sure, man. I got like 6 of these fucking things." So don't worry about it too much. Like that is not a weird sort of like.
Well, I got no problem with him having guns. It's just that he's in our territory. Mm-hmm. I just want to make sure no one in our territory is like trying to start shit. Like if you got it somewhere else, then I don't care.
So maybe
I just want to make sure it's not here.
Maybe this is something more that I guess Vera can answer for you, because being a fixer, you know other fixers in the business. That's generally how it works.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I was actually going to bring her in. Yeah.
Well, I'm just like, if you come and ask me about like where Uzis are coming from, that would be, it sounds like that would be like asking me, so since he said he had this thing called Starbucks, what is this stuff? It sounds like that's what it is. So
sounds,
like, if you
sounds European, I don't trust it.
Right. So if you come and ask me like where to get an Uzi, like I'll probably just like there's probably just go look in the fucking dumpster.
Yeah. Yeah. I like the idea that the dumpster that was thrown like exploded and there's just like gun parts in there, and it's like
okay.
It's from the restaurant down the street.
Yeah. As for the cybernetic question, a lot of the Chroma's tech are actually from corner surgery shops. These are the types of places that you could walk into and be like, it's kind of like buying a phone, I would say. You walk in there.
I didn't expect anything special. I just wanted to see if there's anything there. I didn't expect anything, basically.
Okay, yeah, I'm just letting you know that, theoretically you can interrogate this dude, but you're not going to be like, Johnny No Fingers, all right, he's our target now. Like, there's not going to be anything in here. And outside, out of character, it was intentionally designed to be a kill room for you guys to test your characters and see the limitations of your current build, which I think worked pretty well. It also allowed me to see the limitations of the way that we actually do the game combat system. So, that worked well. But don't expect too much from the interrogation of the chroma. Chroma are basically just like when I can't put a dude in, like if you ask for it, like, oh, who's this dude at the bar that I'm going to punch? It's either going to be a Joe and Joanna, which is a basic generic civilian, or a chroma. And the difference between the two is one is a person without cybernetics and the other person is a person with cybernetics. And that's the difference there, realistically.
Well, since Barbell didn't want us to kill him, I'll strip him down of anything of value and just get the fuck out of here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Like a gas station. Like you could go into a gas station and find these fucking Uzis in the fucking packaging that you need, a pair of scissors to open.
Yeah, the blister packs.
Yeah, right. and on the back.
To the Pringles.
Yeah, you know how you buy a packet of fucking razors or something like that, and some of them have 4 extra razors in. It's some of them have an extra magazine in there, and you're just oh, that's pretty fucking good value.
Oh, boy. Double value.
Yeah, so or there's the akimbo package, which is 2 Uzis, and just that's the sort of shit you would expect to find in this game. But
right, yeah.
So it's definitely if you guys wanted Uzis, you could just be oh, hello, welcome to my shop. What would you like? I would like the Militech behind you. It's oh, how many would you like? 4? Four Uzis? Yeah, I could work with 4 Uzis. So, yeah.
Walk in the back and just open up a box full of them.
Yeah. Styrofoam going everywhere.
4 Uzis in the bag and then some napkins and a fortune cookie, or how does
oh, fucking yeah. It's buy now to get your complimentary fucking Uzi. Yeah, shit. Yeah.
I asked for extra gun oil, man.
We always skip the gun oil. Okay, so you guys have done a little bit of interrogation, probably in the street. I don't imagine that you would take this person somewhere.
I still got a baseball bat in my bag. Bash just needs to gives me lip.
Yeah.
I mean, you have a guy who literally has vibrating blades for fingers. If you need to torture someone, I can just jab him a bit.
Look at the dumpster and just gesture over to the dumpster and be like, huh? Yeah?
So yeah,
a little passed out with a beer coma.
If you guys want, you can make your way back to the base of operations, or you can explore. It's up to you. There's plenty of things to do in Night City. You don't necessarily have to go do the main quest, but you do have an objective marker at the main base of operations. So it's up to you guys what you want to do now. I'm not gonna railroad you guys. So
I would go there anywhere. I would go there anyway because in character, I ordered stuff from a courier and I'm waiting for stuff there.
Oh, what did you order? These are the sorts of things you have to fucking tell your GM. So,
Well, it's not. It's actually nothing really that important, no guns or cyberware or whatever.
It's just a bomb.
By the way, you can't have things couriered to your secret base of operations in the sewer, my man. It doesn't work like that.
I have a PO box and everything, man.
This is where we said it was.
Amazon can't find your delivery location. You get
PO box. The PO box is just grates on the side of the road, and he just rolls the package in there. It's okay, whatever. I get paid either way.
Hear what I was thinking. Barbell said gang resources are at my disposal, and so I was I paid a courier $20 just to go pick up my shit. It's actually nothing really that hardcore. I just got a bunch of minor crap, honestly. Like it's stuff you'd get from a corner store.
I don't know why you're being so
had-
hesitant about telling me what the fuck it is, man. What is it?
You fuck you, Dave. But okay. Okay. The first thing is a bar in a briefcase. Like a bar in a briefcase has everything you want for a party away from the crowds. 2 liters of assorted liquors and mixers, basically booze. A carton of flavored cigarettes. No, really.
What flavor?
I believe one of them was strawberry.
Okay. Yeah.
There's like 6. I had to choose them, and the rest of them were crap.
Yeah.
I got a cred chip account, so I could just like swipe my, future debit card.
Wait, you took a debit card? You took a credit card? Is that what you did?
A cred chip account.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
A debit card that you use to carry your cash around instead of a wallet, it says. 20 Eurobucks per month.
Okay.
Okay. The next thing is I got a full dress of fashion wear quality. Business wear, I mean. So like pants, a top, jacket, footwear. So I look like a suave dude.
Sweet.
Basically, I look like a corporate with it on. Yeah. Like actually, that is something like I was kind of going for. I'd be sort of like the face because I got a +2 in personal grooming and a +2 in social. So I'm actually fairly decent at talking to people.
That's
all right.
+2 is like average human.
Yeah, but no one else has shit, so I'm better than all of you.
I think Vera has quite a bit of that shit too, right?
Yeah, pretty good at it.
I have a 1 in personal grooming and a 1 in wardrobe and style, so I have a 5 in attractiveness.
I have a full suit, man.
Okay, was that all you bought? You just bought clothes?
No, I got more. I got a med kit, a surgical kit.
If you need clothes to make yourself look good, I mean...
Yeah, damn.
I like to look good, man. All right, I got a nylon helmet to protect my noodle. The last chance protective headgear insert, which is like a little Kevlar sheet that goes underneath the helmet for added protection.
Now, tell me, is that counted as hard armor or soft armor?
It did not say. All it said was a thin sheet of Kevlar that will fit under any headgear and be completely concealed.
Okay.
They could be the smartest, yada, 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 sales pitch. It's really not all that much.
Okay, just going forward.
Only has a protection value of 4.
Just going forward, in the Discord, just tell me what you're purchasing and give me an actual page number, because half the shit in the Chromebooks can be a little game breaking, and the availability of such things I need to check, because it's not just like a lot of these things you can't just be like, maybe you need a military ID to purchase them or something like that, right? So anyway, that doesn't matter. We'll address this later. But what would you guys like to do? Like aside from collect your courier stuff, I'll tell you when that shit shows up.
I do have one more thing.
What's that?
This one you might. It's called a stress analyzer. It's a piece of chipware, and basically it gives me a +1 to interrogation and human perception.
So it's all right. Give me the page for that one.
Yeah, I'll post it in the Zoom chat right there. That's the entire thing.
Man, it's nice to have money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Put it in the Discord so I can see it later.
Okay, I'll boot it up.
Yep. Okay, so well, now that we've gone through our shopping list, what would you guys like to do?
We should probably head back.
My vote's back and report success.
Okay.
Yeah,
so,
at least tell him, hey, we took care of those fuckos.
Yeah, so you guys head back. You tell him, and he's proud of y'all for not killing any motherfuckers in the street. And then he will give you, because last time you were here, you asked for information on some of the gangs as to where you could start. So he does have a small bit of information that he can give you guys. Oh, nope. Where did I put that? Is it this one? Okay, yeah. So around you guys, there is the city center, the bank block, the medical center, old downtown, and the upper marina. So going from left, these are the ones that are like the most pressing, given that they're so close to your actual home base. In the city center, we have the Black Queens, the Sacred Blades. Sacred Blades are... So this game is made in the 80s, just so everyone's aware. They are an Indian-style gang, like a Native American. And basically what their entire thing is to prove themselves to be men. And to do that, they basically go into combat with other people or people they deem to be high value targets, and they take knives with them and they try and best them in combat. Like they basically go into gun combat, and they try and make a name for themselves. They're basically a terrorist group because they cause terror.
So that's the Sacred Blades?
That's the Sacred Blades. And the other one is the DJs. And the DJs are basically so there's a couple gangs that are like this. They basically go around and essentially try and do street performance and lock down like a performance space. So it's almost like a unionized performance, like street performer gang, if that makes any sense. So basically, they have like territory where they operate, and anyone who sort of pisses off the street performers in any way, like maybe I don't know, kicks over their hat that they have their money in, or like roughs them up and whatever means, because people do that all the fucking time. Like maybe they're in there doing that fucking what are those steel drums called that people play and they sound really dumb in the streets? They used to do it all the time in America.
Steel drums.
They're just called steel drums? Okay.
Yes.
So imagine you're playing the steel drums inside of like a corporate zone, and like and some fucking big shit executive comes down and like kicks in your drums and shit like that and tells you to fuck off because you're making too much music. The DJs would basically come after that dude and break his legs and piss on his fucking shag carpet in his home and things like that, right? Like, so they're basically there just to protect the street performers. There's another type of gang that does that further on in Night City as well, but so the Gillard do that as well. But it's the same sort of thing. They both like protection sort of gangs, but the DJs are more like focused on I guess like performance places and shit like that. So like Night City life and all that sort of stuff. The DJs are mostly there, and they also sell like stolen music on the streets and some other shit like that. So it's very petty shit. Like the DJs are very petty stuff, but if you wanted to, I don't know, protect the corporate executives in the area, then that's something you can look into. And the other one is the Black Queens. The Black Queens are like a drug gang, I believe, and they're the ones that essentially they're the ones that are on the out and out at the moment. But so they could potentially make a comeback. They have like a very small segment of land, space, I guess you could say. In terms of bank block, where's bank block? They have the Cassidys, which are like, God, let me pull that up. Because there's so many gangs in this that it is what it is. Okay, no, yeah, the Black Queens are like they basically run prostitutes and drugs. Let's see, I think the Cassidys are like a small time gang, so they're not super important. Yeah, the Poser gang focus around the Kennedy family of the 20th century. Kennedys have no to earth be found any part of the city, from JFK to the corporate zone. Okay, so basically they have political connections, and that's where they're trying to go. Let's see. Medical center, they have... Now, the medical center is kind of interesting because this is like... they have a protection gang in there.
Are those political aspirations, are like they cozying up to the mayor in any way?
No, they're attempting to run for mayor.
Ah, okay.
What the fuck? Oh, okay. The Silver Slash. They are a hair metal band gang. Yeah, this is Night City. It's stupid sometimes. They're a Guardian Chroma gang, and they basically dress and look like a very popular 80s band called the Silver Slash, which was the band's first single in 2017, Stand for Your World, an anthem and with lyrics in English, French, Swahili, and Japanese, was a raging platinum hit worldwide and put many people into positive action in the streets. The Silver Slash is an example of people deciding to act loyally by taking responsibility for the public safety in the medical center. So basically, they just protect people. So they're a fairly good gang. So if you wanted to allies, the Silver Slash is probably a good one, but they are probably anti-vigilante for the most part. So don't expect them to be too kosher with what you guys are attempting to do. I actually, when I was making this game, I had a choice between the Silver Slash and the Back Alley Brawlers for which one I guess the players would be associated with. So it was either one of those. The old downtown, you have the Maelstrom. The Maelstrom are basically like a gang of very highly cybernetically augmented drug dealers, I want to say. Let me just double check.
Weren't they in your previous game?
They were, yes. They were. Combat gang formed around the remnants of Metal Warriors, a gang virtually wiped out by the Inquisitors. Okay, la. Members dress in traditional black leather and chrome, sport visible cyberware, and simply look dirty, primitive, and dangerous. Maelstrom's leader, Hammer, is a character from the older Night City games that I used to run. 30% of the gang are registered cyberpsychotics. Wow, I didn't know that. And another 35% hovering near the edge. Yeah, so they're basically just like out to make trouble. And they will intentionally like push against their boundaries a lot. So yeah, other than nighttime sweepers for the Inquisitors, the gang is into small-time crimes, but the need for new cyberware and combat drugs threaten to drive them to larger targets. So they're basically just like one step away from like having a bad idea go awry, and then basically have them be set loose on the region. So they could be a bit of a problem going forward. And the last one in the upper marina, I believe these guys are also a small-time gang, but let me just double check. Yes, that's right. There's two gangs. One's called the Game Boys. Not making that up. Let's see. Game Boys.
I will be upset if one of them is not dressed as like Mario or Pokemon.
I don't think it's anything like that. I think it's more like gangs and stuff.
Do they have the blood feud with the Virtual Boys?
And the other one, and the ones that's most important, is the Water Rats. This gang operates in and around the docks of the Night City, having clashed with the Humber police on occasion. The Water Rats make their living by helping pirates smuggle stuff into the city. So that's basically what's around you guys. If you wanted to try and jump in the middle of any of that sort of gang warfare, you're more than welcome to. If you want to strike out at some of the more threatening gangs, there are some obviously information about like the bozos and the philharmonic vampires. The Maelstrom is another big one, which we talked about. The Voodoo Boys, they're more like terrorist thugs, so they actually do like terrorist attacks and stuff like that. There's the Bozos, which are like a very threatening prankster gang. Think like the Joker, basically, and you have like what those guys get up to. The Red Chrome Legion essentially is like a side thing of the Maelstrom, but more focused on actual killing. And then there's the Slaughterhouse, which is the guys that basically created, or allowed you guys to start the Back Alley Brawlers in the first place. The guys responsible for the slaughter in the subway tunnels. So.
And the one that my character has had 2 bad run-ins with.
Essentially, yeah. And those guys, if you want to know, they're in the North Side District, which is two districts to the left of where you are right now. Oh, and then there's like, the mob. Something like that. If you're interested.
Like, I'll ask Barbell, is there anyone in particular who's causing us problems right now?
Well, that's the thing. Everyone sort of keeps to themselves, And as long as you don't do anything, they'll continue to do their gang activities unabated. So realistically speaking, what you could do is attempt to find which gangs, there's a lot of, you guys have a bunch of stories connected to gangs already. Like, for example, I think it was you, Vera, that had the connection with the smuggling in the marinas. So the water rats would have been basically tied into, your parents dying, I believe, on that boating accident. That was you, right? That was your character?
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, there's a good assumption that the water rats were involved. The slaughterhouse is related to, this gang as a whole. And a couple of people here have that as a tie-in as well. And some of the the poser gangs are the people responsible for some, like, I guess Donnie more than anything, but Donnie's not here, so fuck Donnie. And yeah, so they're pretty much like anything related to your actual characters can help as well. And once we actually get started on you guys finding information about these sorts of gangs, we can it'll start falling in place as to how this game will break down for everyone. So, which targets would you guys like to go after? Where are you feeling?
I'll ask Barbell, like, these water rats, what do they smuggle into the city? Like guns or what else?
Anything and everything that they can get their hands on, mostly. If there is something coming in through the marina, they're going to want to take a cut of it.
Is there anything they're short on, like protection, like information?
These are
like
things you're going to have to find out. Yeah.
All right, then I'm just asking him if he knows anything as well.
Mm-mm.
All right. Because I'm interested in making a deal with the water rats, just so, like, if we need something, we have a contact. Like, I'll like bring that up. Like, what
Again,
do you guys think?
that's what fixes are for. Fixes get you the stuff. So.
Well, if we take them down, we don't have to pay anybody jack shit, and we can just get things in the dock.
But then we'd have to oversee it.
I mean, that's kind of the plan, I think.
It's also like a very extreme thing to just casually say that we're going to wipe out an entire district's worth of a gang.
Which is why I don't want to do that.
So Specifically speaking, if you start a war with someone, it's going to be hard to it's essentially imagine Civilization, right? You know,
Yeah.
when you're attempting to like wipe someone off the off the game board, it's generally a lot harder than it is to say just go to war with them and make trouble for them essentially. Actually killing an entire gang or removing them is really dependent on their size to begin with, but the whole upper marina is the water boys. So the water rats, sorry.
I would say instead of trying to go head to head with somebody, it might be more advantageous to go after supply lines, logistics trains, that sort of thing. Because
not even that. Gangs don't necessarily have that sort of stuff. What you should if you really wanted to hurt them, you should hit them where they make their money. Essentially, hit them where they're doing the deals and. Essentially, because you guys are vigilantes, right? So the hearts and minds of the average folk are basically the type of things that you can weaponize. So yeah, once you guys have picked a target, we can essentially look into what we can do or what you can find about them.
Well, if our whole thing is protecting the little guy, I don't think the smugglers at the docks are gonna be the people we would want to go after. I would think we want to go more after the ones that are it just jokering their way through poor people or whatever.
Yeah, with wanton disregard for human life.
Yeah, those 3 or 4 that were just they just go kill people with various themed instruments.
Yeah, so if that's the case, you're looking specifically at the Bozos, which are in West Hill Gardens, which is the far left district. They're basically self-classified as terrorist thugs and pranksters who dress up like clowns. You have the Voodoo Boys, which are based out of Night City University, which is the bottom left. They are also terrorist thugs, and they are drug posers as well. They have the Red Chrome Legion and the Maelstrom, which are also very cybernetically augmented terrorist gangs. And then you have the Slaughterhouse, obviously, as well.
And where is the Maelstrom? Where are they located on the map again? Old Town?
Old downtown, sorry, yeah.
So they're close to us.
Mm-hmm. They are. Mm-hmm.
Perhaps the Maelstrom, then.
The Maelstrom were you said they were very cybered up.
Yep. So they 60% of the people inside the Maelstrom are borderline cyberpsychotic or actually cyberpsychotic. These are the type of people that will eat the flesh off your skin, off your bones, I guess. Flesh off your skin.
They outchrome the chromers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know if
they might be too beefy for us to take. That's what I'm worried about.
That's why I'm suggesting we go after some smaller guys first. I don't think we're prepared for, that kind of people.
I'm thinking bozos. They're not too far away, so we don't have to overextend ourselves.
You guys want to fuck with the bozos? Yeah, I mean, it's up to you guys. Realistically, either way,
Shoot their clowns in the feet.
What's that?
They're big target. They shoot their clown noses in their feet. They're big targets.
Mm. So, realistically speaking, it's not impossible for you guys to take on the Maelstrom. There are always targets that you can hit up for the Maelstrom to cause problems, and you don't have to you're not gonna be clearing out drug like creation labs or anything like that just yet, but you are going to be like basically hitting up their meetings and stuff like that, and maybe just causing a disturbance and basically just being a thorn in their side and stopping them from actually doing gang-related stuff for the time being. So just so you know, each of the gangs have their own stats and stuff like that for the characters and shit. So they're not. Most of the gangs aren't like stupid level of difficulty, but there are some of the cybernetic enhancements that they have in the Maelstrom are, for the most part, as you'd expect a cyber psychotic person to have. Either like they're not necessarily combat focused in a lot of cases. They're just kind of like people who've snapped. So you can have someone like maybe, for example, someone who's entirely focused on the outward appearance, and maybe they change their entire skin to be chrome and they have like fake hair and fake eyeballs and shit like that. Then they're not necessarily gang combat related stuff, but the difference is that they sort of recruit these psychotic people because of the fact that their mentality is like perfectly aligned with what their gang encompasses. So
Do they have any enemies, or have they been targeted by the Cyber Psycho Squad?
I mean, everyone has enemies. These are the sorts of things that you need to sort of investigate and find out. And part of what this investigation period is like, maybe, let's say, all right, this session, you guys want to go investigate the Maelstrom. You can go to their parties. You can go to like their gang meetups. You can talk to them. You can investigate them. You can find out that, like, maybe go to the old downtown and see what it's like living there. You know, there are things that you guys can do to find out information as to like maybe try and get personally involved with some of these people, or try and make some sort of arrangement where you guys can make additional money by offering like protection to certain businesses from the Maelstrom, things like that. You know, like you don't necessarily have to target the gang, but you can do goody two-shoe stuff to make sure that you guys protect the people from the Maelstrom. You don't necessarily have to take them down. There are plenty of operations in here that you guys can attempt to do. And if you say, for example, we just want to maybe pretend to be seeking to join the Maelstrom so we can get a better idea of the type of people that they recruit, you know, there are things like that in here that we can do. You don't necessarily have to engage with combat from day one against the Maelstrom. You know, there are definitely like sabotage related things that you can do. It's not necessarily all guns and mayhem. Like, for example, imagine how fucking broken that would be if you worked out, who their surgeons are or who their back alley doctors are and that sort of stuff. And you went and hit those guys, you know? Things like that. You don't necessarily have to target like the actual big strong dudes.
Oh, let's go fishing.
So we're going to the marina?
Oh, they were downtown, right? For the Maelstrom?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you said let's go fishing though.
Is that everyone? Is everyone in sort of the same thought of process here? Like, is everyone in agreement that this is something that they want to do?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Like in character. Like, yeah.
So let's give an idea of where you guys are going first and foremost. So Old Downtown has a lot of interesting places you can visit. Is there anywhere in particular that you'd be looking to approach?
I personally don't know anywhere in particular. I'd like to like gather information, like who they would know, like yeah, like you said, like if they're doctors, what do they do to get money? Do they know any important people like politicians or military? I want to learn about them before I actually like make a move on them.
Mm-hmm. All right, so
that's what I meant by let's go fishing. Like let's actually like nose to the grindstone. Let's learn about them.
Give me a second here. I'll try and pull up what I know about Old Downtown so you can get an idea. There's no real bookmarks in this book, so I'm just basically like scrolling forever.
Yeah,
the Night City PDF,
Yeah.
because I have that.
I miss Control F.
yeah, those books are not very.
Well formatted. Yeah. Well, they're not made for like. I mean, I guess back in the day, like. You would actually have like bookmarks in an actual physical book. This is one of the times where I think a physical book would probably do better than the PDF.
Probably.
Probably, yeah.
I mean, yeah. Well, you can tell these are just literally just someone someone had the book and just went up to a scanner and just like, okay, page 3, okay, page
1989.
4.
You know.
Okay, let's take a look here. So. All right. So, let's start on foot level then. So this is not something that we can really do high level. Old Downtown has a lot of... originally the center of the township, the old downtown area has since fallen into urban decay. Only solid presence of the city medical has prevented this area from turning into a slum. Gangs are common, and nighttime is dangerous, especially when the Rangers are playing a home game. Because very close to the old downtown is the new harbor, which actually has a sporting arena in there as well. I believe the sport of choice is baseball? I can't remember. I'll need to double check that. But there's literally no identity to this area. It's close to Charter Hill and at its fringes on the medical center. It's kind of near the bridge and it's not really anything except dominated by the stadium, and the term old downtown isn't used anymore. The urban struggle is starting to escalate here as the gradual depreciation. God, it is too early in the morning for me to fucking read these things. Has reached the city medical and municipal buildings. Expect to see a lot of shooting here in the next couple of months, basically. So there's a lot of nightlife places in here as well. So if there's anywhere in particular that you guys would like to look into, let me know. I'll move you guys over to the actual page here so you can see it. Where is it? Here we go. Old Downtown. This is the map. As you can see,
is this like a tiny section of it?
No, that's the whole thing. Yep, that's the whole thing. It's weird like that a little bit, but
All right.
So the old downtown area, if you is basically just like it's sort of like the nightlife section of like the stadium area, so that's why it looks so weird, and that's why most of it's like hang on, I'll pull it up so everyone can see. Oh man, I don't have the pages set up for this. Okay, give me a second. Let's set up everyone's cameras real quickly. Okay. But yeah, it's mostly just like a it's sort of like what happens when everyone goes off from the main stadium area. God, sorry, I am not prepared. Okay, that's better. Yeah, the actual area itself is basically crawling with gang warfare, and expect to run into like smaller poser gangs a lot of the time here. So, all right, sorry about that. We're all good. So this is the map here for everyone playing at home. Very, very small. But, lots and lots of basically eating areas, eating establishments. And there's a couple of weird encounters that can happen in this area too. So, yeah. if you want to start like walking around the area and shit like that, you'll probably hear a lot of people talking specifically about, the Maelstrom in this area. They are the dominant gang force, whatever you want to call it here. And the Maelstrom itself is actually a very threatening gang to this area. They actually keep a lot of the actual the gang violence here to a minimum. It doesn't take much to work out where they're actually located and all that sort of stuff. But where would you like to begin? Do you guys just want to walk around? Do you want to pretend to be part of things? Are you looking for something in particular? I know this is a little weird, considering like most of these sorts of games will have you go on to a story and focus in there. But now that I know which direction you guys want to head in, we can actually start making actual plot lines based around the direction you guys are moving in. So now that we have an understanding as to where you're going, things will start to fall into place a little better.
I'd say it's like we're walking down the street. Like, you guys can do what you like, but I'd say this pawn shop here, number 9, catches my eye, and I'd like to go inside and see what they have.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, we're not here to do shopping, but
No, I'm not actually shopping. I want to check the place out because I know they fence stolen goods here. Or is that too meta?
Yes, I would say.
Okay.
The fact that you have the Night City book open and are looking at it is kind of a little like it's kind of like looking at the Dungeon Master's book and being like, well, clearly this is a,
Okay, someone else lead me by the hand.
Yeah, but if you guys are looking for the Maelstrom, talking to civilians and stuff like that is a good start.
Make sure to leave my beret hat or whatever from the Back Alley Brawlers up at HQ, so no one IDs me.
Yeah.
Luckily, I tossed mine. So, where is is there like are nightclubs and like stuff like that like kind of just everywhere, or like is there like a section that has a bunch of them, or like
the area that you're in, the Upper East Side, is mostly known for their club life and stuff. The corporate zone has a lot of that stuff as well. But the fact that you're in the Night City proper, you can find like not so much nightclubs in this area, but like drinking holes, I want to say would work. Let's take a look. If you're looking specifically for an actual like
Yeah, I think I guess what I'm thinking of doing is just like finding a place where people go hang out and like scope it.
Mm-hmm.
Like see if I like basically watch it and see if we like notice any like Maelstrom people come in and do anything, or like talking to people, or like if we notice them like, oh, they hang around this bar a lot, or stuff like that. I guess
I need a drink.
Try to find their hangouts and stuff.
All right, yeah. So there's not really a whole lot of like drinking places in here. Like a lot of the places where people hang out, and a lot of places where you see people actually going to, there is specifically like 24-hour like foods places here, like supermarkets and shit that people go to. Let's see here. Where did I see that before? There's like condos in here. Where did I see it? Okay, the Maximart is called. 24-hour supermarket. Maximart claims to have everything you want. If they don't, just ask and the manager will personally order the item. It takes you several weeks. Okay. Yeah, so the Maximart is in number 11, which, if we're playing at home, is this big building right here.
So let's go. I'm hungry, and I like want to go inside, like just get some food.
Yeah, I mean it's a normal supermarket inside of it, but it's filled with basically. If you guys have ever been to like a 7-Eleven at 4 a.m. in the morning on a Saturday, it's filled with those sorts of people. Like party clothes, stuff like that. From that are now like essentially like their makeup is starting to come off and all that sort of shit. Like people have had enough of the nightlife and coming down on this at the moment, and they're in the supermarket basically just browsing for energy drinks and coffee and terribly wrapped meals, I guess.
Like I'll leave the group and go down an aisle looking for snacks.
You find snacks? Like a lot of what you're finding in here is mostly just like stereotypical stuff for food and consuming and stuff like that. But if you want to like eavesdrop specifically or find information, we're gonna have to make some rolls for that. So who's got some social ideas that they want to try and stipulate?
I think I'm just gonna walk around and like pretend to like browse and like try to listen to the conversations and stuff. Like I guess specifically trying to like note if like there's any like people saying like, oh, can you believe those guys came in and shot that guy, or like just events, I guess, like happenings is what I'm trying to find.
I got an idea of what I'm looking for, but let's take care of hers first.
All right. So yeah, you're walking around this supermarket, and it's basically just aisles and aisles of shit. It's a fairly big space. It almost takes up the entire block. This supermarket. You start to your fixer ears percolate, I guess, and you start to hear whispers, like harsh whispers, and muffled, I guess, screams to a degree. And if you investigate, you see two gentlemen basically attempting a mugging of I guess a civilian of some description in one of the back corners of this place.
Are the muggers
It's at gunpoint, in case you were wondering, and they're basically just giggling to themselves, basically when she doesn't have the money that they want, that he wants, or that they want, they start to get a lot more aggressive with her.
What do the muggers look like? Do they look like do they have a bunch of cyberware, I guess, or like are they just regular dudes?
Well, it's sort of the way I describe them as is probably young. They are very young looking, probably in their early 20s. They do have a decent amount of cyberware on them, as the fashion dictates in this place. In fact, it's more strange that you guys have very little cyberware, to be honest.
How do they afford it?
I got a lot. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
do I see these guys? Like, I left the group, but do I see these guys?
Well, anyone can have any sort of visual on these guys, but I would like to get an idea of what you guys do socially before you attempt to intrude here. So, Vera, what were you liking to do here?
Well, I guess if that's the most like prominent thing that's happening, you sort of walked around, and that's the sort of thing that struck out the most. I mean, there are people here, but they're mostly keeping to themselves outside of this mugging. Okay, so there's yeah. So there's okay. Then yeah, I'm gonna poke my nose in to that to the this mugging.
Okay, what does that look like exactly? Just like hello.
What are they? What are they near? Is it like a
I like
stand
I
or
like
something?
to think it's like the milk/dairy aisle.
Yeah,
But
so
it's
I like.
all like
I just
synthetic dairy and shit.
You like
these days.
I just-
the aisles, just like shh.
I just walk up. I just walk up to them and it's like, excuse me, boys, you need to get me some almond milk.
Yeah, like you just like I'm just like slide the fucking.
Move. Yeah, I just like force my way into them, and I'm just like looking at the thing and just like, my God, do you want soy milk or almond milk?
I like the idea that these two gang members they sort of look at each other. Like one of them's holding a knife, the other one's holding like a pistol or something like that, and they just sort of look and think, "Yo, what the fuck are you doing?" Like
I look at
we're
the girl.
busy here. What are you doing?
I look at the girl. The muggy, and I
the
say,
baguette. Yeah.
"Yeah, have you tried the unsweetened soy version? I haven't tried that one. It's a little less calories than the regular one."
She
So I'm
sort of like
thinking-
looks up, like her mascara's literally like running down her face, and you know her like clothing is a little bit torn up from being manhandled, and she's like, what the fuck?
I mean, if you haven't tried it, that's fine. I'm just saying.
Are you gonna help me or not?
At this
Around the corner, it's like, girl, you want them? Like 4 for $5.
At this point, Tim Rath drunkenly stumbles over to the cheese and goes, "I fucking love cheese. I fucking love cheese. What kinds do they have?" I pushed past them too.
Yeah, if you get some cheese, we could get some bread and fixins. We can have some sandwiches later.
I love the idea that you guys stopped the mugging by just being awkward. You know, like.
Yeah, I'm trying to act as normal as possible.
Uh-huh.
Make sure you get the 2%. I don't want any of that other crap.
Right, 2%. I'm getting him the soy.
No, oh, no, come on, Vera. Live a little.
I grab
You
like
do not. I'm just like I like lean into the girl that is like I'm just like acting like we're just people or whatever, and it's like you do not want to be around him when he's had his diary.
Like, and as we're like doing all this crap, I'm gonna try to like take a look at like they have like a gun belt.
I love the idea that the guy holding the guns basically just like. Well, I mean that makes sense if you think about it. Like 30% of all Americans are actually lactose intolerant. So like, and then the guy with the knife.
Are you just inviting yourself into our conversation?
Do you guys think I should get
Vera,
seriously
Vera,
sharp
he does
cheddar?
have a point. Let the man speak.
Do you think I should get some seriously sharp cheddar cheese, or maybe just extra sharp?
Probably just extra. I don't know if I can. I don't know. Seriously sharp sounds seriously sharp.
So I like the idea that the one of them picks up the girl by like the arm and is just like, we'll go over here. they drag the muggy.
No, yeah, I wedge myself in again, like around to like the other side. Like, oh well, we need the cottage cheese too.
Yeah, and the guys will basically just be like, "Are you making a scene now? Is that what's happening right now? Are you making a scene? Are we gonna have to fucking do the old jumpity jump?"
I drunkenly stumbled back into
I mean,
one of
you
them.
can do whatever you want. We're just trying to get some groceries.
But then get the fuck out of my way. We're doing something here. Obviously.
I need dairy, or synthetic dairy, I guess. Freaking 2020.
Garrett will walk up, he's got a box of Ritz in one hand, some tiny meats in the other. All right, who's got the cheese?
Tim's getting the cheese now.
I got beverages.
You an extra sharp or a seriously sharp person?
More of a Swiss man myself.
Swiss. Okay, get some Swiss.
Jesus Christ.
Then I look to her, the girl,
For a
and
little
like
grated Parmesan, honestly.
Yeah.
I wedge myself again and get in between the guys and the girl, and I'm like, well, "What kind of cheese do you like?"
Oh my God.
Here, let's go look at it together. And I like try to move her towards the cheese and away from these dudes.
So I mean, they are being outnumbered at this point, obviously. So I mean, obviously at this point, like I'm as an NPC, right, as a gang member, being like told, being pushed around like that is one thing, but like I don't know, like that's I don't know how I'm supposed to fucking act now. Like,
right, we're just being. That was the plan. Be so casual that it just kind of confuses them.
yeah,
and then
I mean, good job, you confused me. Like,
If you put enough points into deception, you don't need combat skills.
yeah.
God.
say I'm a fixer. I'm a social person. This is where I shine.
Yeah, I like the idea that one of the guys is like, man, fuck this shit, and then he turns around and just, it's like, as they're walking off, he basically hears just like, yo, getting some of that fucking cheese might be a good idea though. Like,
I'll like give him like a wedge of cheese and like €5. Here, on me, man.
no, he's definitely gone. He's not sticking around. So
I would totally do it.
Yeah, once they're gone, like wait for them, like watch, kind of like over the counters, watch them leave, and then like, all right, look at the fuckers are gone. You all right, miss?
As that's happening, Tim Rec just starts giggling.
so she'll sort of like sniffle and sort of like rub some of the mascara out of her face. She's like, I mean, I guess I'm a little confused though. Like, was that intentional?
Yeah.
Of course it was.
Okay.
You're having a little trouble, miss. It's just stop by.
Yeah, we stopped them from mugging you. Didn't have to fight in the corner store.
That'd probably be bad.
Is she wounded in any way?
I mean, no, not really. I mean, aside from being
like
roughed up,
yeah.
so.
Like cut or punched in the head or something, or.
I mean, it's not really something you'd be like aware of if she was punched in the face. I mean, it's not like she would bruise instantly or nothing. But I mean, she's definitely was in a mugging, for whatever that means for you.
Like as a doctor, if she's wounded, I was going to look her over.
She's not bleeding. She's not in any like you can look her over, but like you at best you'll probably find like shock or something like that to deal with. But shock
Confusion, definitely.
that her life was saved by dairy products. So.
I
actually grab a block of cheese too. Like, no, I want cheese.
Well,
So-
then get some fucking cheese then.
Just so you know, a lot of the dairy is manufactured. A lot of everything these days
Right.
is manufactured
Yeah,
because
yeah.
animals don't exactly exist. So they can create synthetic animals, and then those synthetic animals can manufacture things. But yeah.
Right. They make like a weird cheese cow that is just for cheese, and then just cut cheese out of it.
It comes out of a tube.
Right. And the udders, instead of milk, it's like Cheese Whiz udders.
Oh, that is disgusting.
So she'll say she will be. Well, I mean, for what it's worth, thank you. I didn't really have anything that they could have taken from me, so they probably would have taken something else.
Yeah, that's the yeah. This happened a lot around here.
Yeah, I mean, it used to be a pretty decent neighborhood until, obviously the gangs started taking over. I really wish the Silver Slash would move into this area. It'd be so much nicer for everyone here.
Why is that?
Well, the Silver Slash makes everything better. Being a part of that whole entire region is definitely the safest place within Night City for, well, I guess middle America, right? Like anyone with a decent income and able to purchase places to sleep, or that isn't on the street, is definitely going to be a better place to live. But right now, the Silver Slash is the only thing that's stopping the Maelstrom from moving out. So this place is kind of shitty. I was just making my way between regions when I got grabbed by these little punks.
Oh, okay. Well then. Yeah. I guess just glad you're safe. Watch yourself.
Thank you. Be careful,
Do that
though,
Back
'cause
Alley
this-
Brawler.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
No, what were you saying?
Do the Back Alley Brawlers, like, do they have any presence to talk to, like, civilians or anything?
On the Upper
Like,
East
is
Side,
there, like-
yeah, sure.
Alright.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably... never mind. It's probably a little too far for her.
This is the story of your expansion, or the gang's expansion, basically. So, if you want to be able to talk to civilians about being a part of this gang, then I guess you got to make your presence known to them, right? So,
Like, I wasn't gonna, like invite her to join the gang. I was just gonna, like, direct her to someone to talk to, or, like, somewhere where she can, like, stay the night. Or if she gets, like, mugged or robbed, that
she
someone
probably
she
has
can go
she probably
to.
has more money than all of you, I would say.
Yeah.
Like, you know, this is the type of person.
She was probably just stopping in to grab a monster and then heading back to her apartment or whatever. Like,
A cheese wheel.
Yeah. The monster. Yeah, no, exactly, right? So,
yeah. So really, now that she's okay, she's probably good, and she just get out and get a cab and fuck off.
Fuck off, yeah, exactly.
Are you going to be okay exiting the district, or do you want us to walk you out or something?
Oh, don't worry, I won't be talking to anyone after this. I'll just get in a cab and, you know, go home, I suppose.
Right, sounds perfect.
They were feeding, like, well, stay safe, lady. Mrs.
So she'll leave, and you guys are now surrounded by dairy.
I walk up to the counter and purchase a block of cheese.
That'll be €15.
Okay. Damn.
Yeah, you're wondering why there's so much crime. It's just like, how much is an Uzi? €200?
Block of cheese is 15, a gun's 200. Fuck.
I mean, just invest in some good cheese. You can beat someone to death with it.
Yeah, seriously.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, there is actually crime rings that like smuggle and steal olive oil. Actual olive oil. It's true.
Yeah, that plays.
Yeah.
Realistically speaking, like, so you guys are, purchasing your cheese. When, someone will come up into the line, like, who's purchasing what? Like,
I am purchasing cheese.
All right.
I'm gonna grab some flavored cigarettes. Now that I know that's a thing.
Yeah. What flavor?
Chocolate.
Out of carton.
Dang, chocolate. Yeah.
So
when you guys are in line purchasing your stuff, an older gentleman will come up to you two, and he will invade your private space, if that makes any sense.
How rude!
Exactly, right.
I shoulder my candy and crap that I'm buying.
Yep.
Fuck off.
He'll put his hand on the conveyor belt of the checkout line.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what that fucking little space is called, but I'm gonna call it the checkout.
The checkout.
Yeah.
And his hand is a little is robotic, I guess, right? Cybernetic, and he'll say, "What gave you the right to do that, huh?"
We just wanted cheese.
I mean, people feel free to buy stuff. I'm getting some cigarettes. He's getting some cheese.
No, what gave you the right to stop those boys from taking what they wanted?
I was just looking at cheese.
Well, if we're gonna get into a fucking philosophical debate, I don't know.
Nothing's stopping them now. If they don't want to continue, tell them to stop being a bunch of pussies.
I don't got a debate in me tonight, so just gonna take my chocolate and then we're gonna feck off.
This place isn't for your type. Make sure I don't
Cheese?
see you here again.
It isn't for cheese enthusiasts?
It isn't for fucking idiots who think that they can own the world by walking around and imposing their own laws.
I'm gonna like to reach over to like pick up like just some candy bar, and I'm gonna like try to take a look into like under his coat or whatever to see if he has like a holstered gun or something. I'm trying to be casual about it.
All right, well, give me an awareness/notice here. And, you know, the minimum to pass here... So the way that skills work in this game, the way that I run them... so that's a fumble. So...
oh, boy!
Do I like stumble and accidentally grab his gun or something?
I like the idea... No, I like the idea that you go to, like, look in and you fall over and, like, land on, like... You grab, like, his belt as you're falling down. And
Crap.
he just sort of looks. He just sort of looks down at you. His face is sort of like. The way I'd sort of describe it is like, it's like cracked, and like under the cracks is sort of like a blue, like sort of like pulsating light.
Oh, Shepherd in Aspect 2.
Exactly right. Yeah, exactly like that, but like sort of like blue. And he sort of looks down at you like slowly. And he just sort of like...
I'll try to be like very polite about like, I do apologize, sir. Is there something I could get for you as a...
You could get off my fucking pants.
Well, I'm trying to...
Listen, shut your mouth, because I don't want to hear any more of your bullshit. Either
Well,
you
stop
leave and
talking
you
to
never
me.
come back, or there's going to be problems.
You're keeping me here. Fuck
You're
off.
grabbing
No, just
onto
try
my
to-
pants. You're the one trying to find out more about me.
No, I've actually like Dave. I've already gotten up. I'm trying to leave. I'm trying to check out.
He'll stand there and follow you out of the store if you guys leave. And as you walk down the road, he will also follow you down the road as well.
I like turn and like... Want one?
He'll just stand there and he's like, you keep walking now, or we're going to have problems.
Like,
Maybe I want to
whisper.
stand. Maybe I want to stand here. Enjoy my chocolate cigarette.
Do you
Like,
know
whisper,
where
"Is
you
there,
are
like, a
right now?
dumpster nearby?"
I mean, there's always dumpsters nearby, so...
I'm just eating my block of cheese.
Here's around the corner next to that their convenience store and whatever that building is, and
You're deep in
Oh, the,
Maelstrom territory right now. And here you are throwing around your weight like you own the place. I'm doing you a favor
Oh,
by
I mean,
walking you out.
me throwing around my weight wouldn't do much.
Keep walking.
It's a joke. I don't weigh a lot. I care about my figure.
I just gesture that we should keep moving for now. I do the
See, the good thing about these cigarettes is they're not actually chocolate. It's just chocolate flavor.
He doesn't look amused.
That's the best part.
Like, I'll actually like take a look at us. Is there anything that's like giving us away that we're a part of a different gang, or
The fact that you gave a fuck that someone was getting mugged.
okay?
Generally, that like most people ignore crimes. You know,
I just wanted cheese. Tim just wanted cheese.
Okay, so
Like,
question.
did I actually see anything with my hand down his pants, or is it because I fumbled I didn't see anything?
I mean, you fumbled. You don't get to see shit, my man.
Okay.
You felt his Mr. Stud implant.
Okay, so what's a gang that's like kinda nearby? I just need their name. I don't need.
You mean here, like to the Maelstrom?
Yeah, to old downtown.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty much like Maelstrom run. Like they have the entire district on lockdown. No one's
another district down or something.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Because.
Mm-hmm.
Oh dear Lord, are we about to get dragged into something?
No, it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Trust me, I know what I'm doing. I'm a fixer.
Vera, are you gonna start a gang war?
I'm a professional, okay?
The water rats are nearby, and they basically they look after any district that has water facing it. So Upper Marina, East Marina, New Harbor area, Charter Hill. They are all part of that. The other one
does Old Downtown touch water?
No, but the New Harbor area does, which is right next to it. The other one that you could potentially do is
the Silver
Studio City has the Wilds and the Red Chrome Legion.
Who are the Wilds?
The Wilds? Sure. Let's take a look here. Oh, we just lost someone. Who did we lose?
Cirrus.
Fun.
Darn internet.
That darn internet. So many gangs, so little time.
You could make up a random gang.
No.
Just like a fake one off the top of your head.
Nah, there's a lot of gangs in here already. There's like 58 of these fucking things. I don't need to make up gangs.
I was mostly saying to Vera.
No. I need a real gang.
Okay.
I just need their name and like a just basic description.
Wow. Why do I have the Wilds down here? I guess specifically like the Silver Slash is also nearby. In Japantown, they have the Golden Eagles, the Tiger Claw, the Philharmonic Vampires. Little China, they have the Tong.
Ooh, okay, yeah, the Silver Slashers were the
protection gang. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, hair metal / protection people.
Yeah.
Okay, they'll work. So I like take a drag of my chocolate cigarette, and then I like flick and like toss it. I like flick it like not at him, but like near him.
Yeah, go on.
And then I say, yeah, all right, we'll fuck off, but we'll tell our bosses and the Silver Slashers to keep poking their heads in here. Don't you worry.
He gets visibly agitated at this. You know, he is pretty much like a cool cucumber up until this point, I guess. And I'm just trying to make this all work. Paste duplicate. Okay. I don't have a whole thing set up. So who dropped just then?
Serious,
right? Okay. Cute. Oh, look who's back. God damn it.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, sounds about right. So he's incredibly agitated at this. He like visibly like his face scrunches up, and the blue illumination behind his actual cracked skin like gets a little brighter, a little whiter almost. And he takes one step towards you, and basically like his arm comes out. His arm is very like you ever seen like Metal Gear Solid when they have like those robots that have like the big muscles, like the actual synthetic robot muscles and stuff like that?
Oh yeah.
So it's almost like his arm is like bulging with like wires that act as muscles, like almost like not a synthetic muscle, but like an actual like cabling as muscles instead.
Right. Yeah.
and his entire arm is chrome, and he has like this frame, and underneath it is all these wires, sort of like basically like just sort of like you can hear the tension, like the tensile. Like, have you ever heard like a wire snap, like being pulled? When it goes like, it makes that really weird like pulling sound. So basically, when he moves his arm and he crunches his fist in front of you, the wires inside of his arm like tense up, and you can hear like springs being made taut, and some other things like that. And he looks at you and he says, "Give me one reason why I shouldn't end your life right now. If you are the Silver Slash, then you are definitely not welcome here. And you have exactly 2 minutes to get out of here before all hell falls down on you."
Probably because the sniper that's aimed on your head right now.
Go ahead. There's plenty more of me in this place.
All right, well, don't worry. We'll fuck off. Plenty more of that cigarette if you wanna nab it there.
Actually, Tim has been slowly walking and just continuing to eat his cheese.
Okay. So Vera, you turn about face and you put your back to this man.
Right. I go back to our group and like for us to leave. Yeah.
Okay. So the moment you turn your back, he takes his frustration out on like, I don't know, a wall or something like that. Probably some sort of like maybe a trash can. You know what? Fuck it. It's a trash can. It's a dumpster.
Trash cans are a motif in our game.
Yeah, it really is. He basically like destroys this trash can with one punch. It like basically like crumples like alfoil under this man's immense physical prowess. And he just like basically roars into the night. And if there were people watching, they just all look away. Essentially, it's like, oh shit, I don't want to fucking look at this guy, So, yeah, mentioning the Silver Slash was a good thing, I guess, because most people don't want to fuck with them, to be honest with you, simply because the police are on their side, and it's generally a good thing to throw their name around, I suppose. But do you guys leave the territory, or do you double back? Like, what's the plan now?
Well, I guess we just leave, and then like once we kind of get like a good distance away, I'll just like all right, you boys doing anything else, or you gonna head out OD?
I think we should stay away from there for the night because I think you just made our job about 5,000 times harder by mentioning the gang, because they'll be on the lookout for us now.
Yeah, if they go at the Silver Slashers, the Silver Slashers have to come here and do their thing.
We don't know if that will start on anything, so
it's those guys, so it'll be fine.
It's their problem.
Yeah, exactly. It's their problem. Thank you.
Tim just shrugs and walks off.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Oh. Okay. I don't know what happened there. What did I miss?
Weird.
So
we all died.
Yeah, you're all dead. So if you guys want to retire for the night, we can definitely do that, and you guys can come back maybe during the day and see if you can find anything out in the daylight when the gangs hide away from the power of the sun.
It burns.
It burns us.
So part of what you've learned tonight is that this entire region is basically controlled 100% by the Maelstrom, and for the most part, they just allow anything to go, right? So if people want to rob and
Except us.
rape and pillage and basically make a nuisance of themselves, then they're more than welcome to do that. The businesses basically stay around because it's so close to the sporting arena that it'd be stupid to not have a business here. Generally because of how much foot traffic comes through the area. But having said that, they put up with the Maelstrom because the Maelstrom think they own the place. So.
Mm-hmm. Right, exactly. So the Silver Slash comes in, they'll take care of the whole thing. It'll be fine.
Or maybe you could go talk to the Silver Slash about it.
Yeah, I'm saying, let's say best case scenario, Silver Slash demolishes the Maelstrom. Okay, so what does the Silver Slash does with all of this new territory? I think the first thing we should do is try to cozy up the Silver Slash first.
We go to the Silver Slash and tell them some fuckos were going around impersonating them last night.
And then they learn it was us.
Perfect.
Actually, can we just sort of go back just a minute? Like as I was perusing for garbage and snacks and whatnot, did I see any security system in the mart?
Okay, give me a reason as to why you're looking for them, and I'll tell you.
All right then.
You don't have to compete against me. I'm not here to stop you from doing cool things. I just want to know what exactly you're planning. So,
all right then. I was anticipating us going. When we first got in there, I was anticipating us going to the back room and questioning the owner.
Mm-hmm. For what reason? Do you want to know about what exactly?
Does he make payments to the Maelstrom,
mm-hmm.
or does he launder any goods or whatnot, sort of like a pawn shop or what?
Mm-hmm.
Or does he know anyone important? Does he use the money from his store to fund any of their enterprises, their gangs, their doctors and whatnot? I didn't have anything in particular in mind, but that's what I was going to do. Then I just kind of forgot about it because of the cheese.
As you do, yeah.
Yeah, I did bring up that I was gonna check for something because while Vera was doing her thing,
mm-hmm.
but then I honestly completely forgot about it because of the cheese.
All right. Well, if you want to go back there and do it, you'll have to do it another time, essentially.
All right. Just if they have cameras is all. So.
Most places do have cameras, but as I said, the cybernetic stuff in the CCTV in this world is every 10 seconds they take a still image and it's black and white and it's 320 by 260. It's probably 4:3, not even widescreen. So, it's generally the security, physical security is generally on the shit side of things.
Okay.
So the entire region of this particular space is filled, for the most part, with the Maelstrom's personality, and a lot of the crime that goes on in this region is, I guess, okayed. I wouldn't say okayed, but just sort of ignored, outside of a couple of very important people who like to make things work. So you guys, I guess, retire for the night, or you maybe wait a couple of hours and come back in? What's the plan here?
I was planning on being done. I guess if anybody else wants to do something, we totally can.
Tim is definitely retiring for the night.
All right, let's get an idea of where everyone goes, because you don't just all sleep in the fucking sewer together, obviously.
We don't?
Do you?
I don't have a place to live.
That's the beauty of this, right? That's the beauty of this whole thing, is that part of why you guys have roam around as a gang is because of the fact that you don't have a place to go. So maybe we should get an idea of where each of you try and find sleep for the night. Because if people see a lot of the reason why they don't allow people to just come and go all the time from the secret base is because people would start noticing things after a while. So let's get an idea of like where you guys go. I mean, you can. There is a thing called coffins that you can go sleep in, and they're essentially like buying like or renting out tiny little hotel rooms and shit. But like, where do you guys like? What type of stuff do you guys look for? Do you have like a? I know there's a couple of you that might have like spaces you can go to, but do you go outside of Night City proper? And like, shack up in like an abandoned building or something like that?
Can I say I bunk up with my friend from my character backstory?
Remind me of this friend.
All right, then. We haven't like named him or anything yet, but I saved him from a minor corporation. So you made an enemy of a minor corporation, and the result of that was I would save whoever I could, and I was, and like the following one was I made a friend, and we decided that it would be someone from the gang.
I mean, I'm happy for made a friend in the gang, Craven. Okay, I mean, like the thing is, like, not everyone in the gang, like. It's pretty safe to assume that your friends are in the same situation as you, especially if they're in the gang. Now, if you said that, part of what escaping the anger of corporations is to go on the down low. So buying property and stuff like that isn't exactly a good idea because that registers you in particular circles and shit like that. So you and your friend probably don't have a space to go. You probably go to like a homeless shelter or something like that. Part of what can happen with what you guys get is you can rent out places, and that's actually part of like the costs of living and stuff like that here. Let's take a look here. So where does that go? But yeah, I mean, like if you guys have money and you want to put it towards actually, okay, so housing. Let's see here. Coffin, basically it is a sleeping bag. It's one step up from a sleeping bag on the street. These sleeping boxes are normally found in airports and flop houses worldwide, usually coin operated with a time limit. The coffin gives you just enough room to turn around or read in bed. Restroom accommodations have to be found elsewhere. More expensive models will have a phone or a mini TV inside of it. And that's generally the type of housing that they give at the very beginning. If you want like, different types of lifestyles come with associated charges with them. So, you need to be making a certain amount of money per month before you can actually like afford to have that particular type of lifestyle. We have a hotel room. So a coffin is €20 per night. Hotel rooms, €100 per night. Apartment or condo is €200 per room per month. And a house is €150 per room per month. And then you multiply the cost of this. So you guys are in the corporate zone right now. Like the city area is like the corporate zone. So that's like you times that by 4. So if you go outside of that, it's a lot cheaper, essentially. But let's get an idea of where you guys try and shack up. I mean, you don't have to pay for anything. You can just sleep on the street or sleep in like housing for homeless and stuff like that. There are like roaming gangs of homeless people, essentially, that you can shack up with. But let's go around the circle. Vera, let's start with you. I guess where would Vera go to shack up?
I go to
there's also like this might be an interesting thing for like anyone who wants to do it as well, like especially people with seduction. You can actually just like find a room by like seducing someone for the night.
Yes, I was about to do that.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna say I find like I on the like I guess wherever a decent nightclub would be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just go into decent nightclub and try to find someone and get them to take me home with them.
Interesting. What type of nightclub would you be going towards? Because like it really comes down to like your current dress and current like clothing options that you have, right?
So clothing, I'm not entirely sure about. Like, I probably can't afford super nice stuff, right?
Oh, now clothing matters.
Yeah, of course it does. Clothing matters when you want to try and like. All right, so within the Upper East Side, there's a couple of nightclubs. There's Metalstrom, not Maelstrom, different thing. It's a nightclub mainly for chromers. There's Cafe Chrome, which is a nightclub. Let's see. There's bars. There's a couple of things like that as well.
Oh yeah, probably like a bar or something would probably be better.
All right, so let's take a look at.
You like bet the guy that you could drink him under the table?
Probably something like that. Yeah.
All right. So if you were to take a look at this particular thing here, do you see the medical center?
Yes.
Right. So the very top corner, like in the triangle part, about here. Yeah. Let me just pull this up so everyone can see it. In this particular section here, there is a bar that's called the Night Owl. Let's see, what does the Night Owl have?
It sounds nice.
Yeah.
It's a good name.
It is a good name. Where is it? 7. 6, 7. Okay. Okay, there is also an express elevator to the Night Owl, a bar located on the top of a Bay Bridge residential hotel. The bar is one of the only bars in the city that never closes. The crowd it attracts is a no-nonsense, mind-your-own-business type, no dancing, quiet music, pool tables, light meals, that sort of thing. Besides the never-ending business hour, the Night Owl is also one of the few places in our city where you can still obtain real beer. There you go. And they carry over 1,000 in stock or special order if you become a regular at the bar. That's pretty cool. I didn't know about that place. So you specifically want like loud music to try and seduce someone? Like you actually want like a proper nightclub?
Well, I mean, I guess that could work. There's the whole thing about like, oh, everyone goes there to just specifically to keep to themselves is kind of the like it's that doesn't.
I mean, there's always an exception to the rule. Give me a seduction check. We'll make this.
Okay, sure.
The basic difficulty here will be a 15, considering the type of place that you're in.
How often does luck refresh at the end of the session?
End of the session. So if you want to put points from your luck into this, just tell me before you roll.
Okay.
What's your luck right now?
3 out of 3.
Okay, so you can use 3 points in here, so you can add like a +3 into this. So.
Okay. Seduction plus empathy, or actually doesn't matter. They're both the same. Okay, so that's I have a decent chance at passing this. I'll put a luck point into it.
Okay, so you're going for a +1 then?
I don't know why that's happening.
1. And... Oh, no. Oh, no.
Womp womp.
That's not good.
So here we have, Johnny Rosewell. He's a blue collar type of man. He works a 9-to-5 security job at a local bank firm, and his one day, the one thing that he takes from his day to day is that he can come to the Night Owl at any point because he works odd hours and stuff like that.
Sure.
So he was, looking forward to this, to coming here and relaxing and all that sort of stuff. His paycheck is next week, so he's very tight on sort of extra funds right now. So he says to himself as he's riding the elevator up and he's sort of like adjusting his tie a little bit, he's like, okay, one beer. Just one. I can treat myself tonight and get one beer, yeah? You know, ding, doors open. He walks in. Some of the waitresses know him already. Like, he comes here quite often. And he sits at the table at the bar, drums his fingers on the bar and looks up at the immense selection of real beers that they have here at the Night Owl. Clara comes over and she's like, "Hey, Johnny, you want the usual?" And he's like, "No, tonight, Clara, I want something special." And she's like, "I got just the thing for you. We installed it on the tap this morning. It's a good barley wheat beer. You'll love it." And she's like pouring it out, and he like puts it in front of him. He pays, and he looks at this beer. It's like, the thing that he's been wanting and craving all day. He like,
oh no.
He like takes his finger, rubs it into the foam. Delicious. Takes a sip, leans back, and in his upside down view, we get a view of Vera. And Vera, what do you do? How's your approach?
So I walk up and I say, "So I hear this place is the only place you can get real beer around here."
I like the idea that you're trying to like sit into like the bar stool and you slip.
Oh yeah.
Knocking over the beer into his lap, and he's just like, "The fuck!" And you're just like, D10 systems, man. I mean, there is a way to recover this. Obviously, it's like,
how much do I know how much the beers are here? I'm not like in character asking. I'm me asking, like, because if I do know,
well, we're looking at a pint, and let's say it can't be less than a block of cheese.
Oh shit! Nope. Okay. Nope. Never mind.
It can't be less than $15.
Yeah.
Never mind. Okay.
And this is real beer. This isn't that smash shit.
Yep.
Okay. So let's say it like minimum 25 Eurobucks for not a pint, the one underneath it. I forget what those ones are called. I don't drink a lot of beer these days, so
a gallon.
No.
Half pint.
A quart?
No, what do they call it?
A liter.
A flagon?
Oh, I know what he's talking about.
A barrel?
A schooner. That's what it is. So a pint is 20 ounces.
A 40.
And a schooner is 15. So we're looking at schooners are like 25.
Okay. Well,
do you head your head in shame and sneak out? Or do you try and, because there are ways to, like, just because you failed your approach and you knocked his beer into his lap doesn't mean you can't go home with this man. This might be a little bit more difficult. Or maybe you just turn to the guy next to him and be like, "Hey, so I hear this place is real beer."
No, I think think she's gonna play the like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Let me clean that up for you," and like reach over and grab some napkins and start. Start.
Basically, giving the guy a above clothes hand job. All right, I like it. Well, let's say that we'll give you a -1 for your approach here, based on this. But give me another seduction check, please.
Crit.
Okay. So -1. It's a roll seduction with a -1.
Yeah, if you want to spend your luck on this, you can.
I don't think I
and
have
the DC is still going to be 15, obviously.
We are 2 hours in the session, and they refresh every session.
That's true. Okay. Yeah, I'll put another 1 into it, so
Right,
it'll just be
just flat.
Yeah. Hey!
Okay. So you start dabbing him down. He was originally pissed that, the thing that he's wanted all night has basically fallen into his lap. But the thing that he now wants has also fallen into his lap, literally and figuratively. So,
Heyo.
Vera, as someone looking for entertainment and a bed for the evening, you have successfully found that. Given the fact that you've patted down his crotch, you are also pleasantly surprised as well. So, congratulations. You might be tired in the morning. We'll see how that goes. You guys strike up a conversation, probably because he is a regular, he will have his beer replaced for free because accidents do happen, right?
Nice.
And you're not exactly, crawling with money right now, right?
Nope, that's why I was so worried.
Yeah, probably at some point in the evening, like the conversation will come up about going home together, and he'll probably, be like, "So I gotta ask, you're not a working girl, are you?"
No.
Okay, good, because I don't have a lot of cash on me right now. I just want to let you know.
Small world.
So he'll walk you back to his place, somewhere in the medical center, somewhere.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good.
And,
I'm just picturing it when he asks if she's a working girl. She thinks, "No, I don't have a job."
No, I'm unemployed.
Okay. So Garrett's sledge. Who do you fuck tonight to get a bed?
Well, that depends on some rules. I'm wondering if I had in my idea. So anybody who's ever been to a garage, all garages, this is pretty ubiquitous, have an old, haggard, dirty, smelly couch in the garage.
You don't have a garage.
I don't.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe somebody I know, I can do some, basic work for them. Don't get paid, but get a place to sleep that's not in a ditch.
Who do you know that has a garage? So here's the thing. All these sorts of things that you guys are coming up with, I mean, you guys need to, I'm okay with that being a thing that you want to go towards. However, we will need to actually, find you a character in this world that's willing to put up with the fact that you're... Because there's one thing to work for a bed. There's another thing to basically, impose yourself like that on someone. So I'm willing for you guys to find that person that you want to mooch off of until you actually have enough money to do your own stuff. But up until that point, it makes it very hard for me to on the fly come up with someone. That's kind of what the backstory is supposed to do. If you don't have anyone in the backstory that can support that role, and I won't accept the mayor in your case, because I know that you two have
Yo, I'm looking.
Yo, Mbunke, can I sleep in your garage? No.
Jack sounds like she's running a little rich.
Yeah. So when it comes to that sort of stuff, how do you survive this night?
This night.
I mean, saying that you find a stoop to sleep on is perfectly acceptable.
Yeah. I mean, it probably would just be something as simple as that, back of an alley somewhere that's, not somewhere out of the rain, out of the, not crawling with ne'er-do-wells as much as you can in the city.
Yep.
But, just find a dry spot you can and just, bunker up.
Cool. Roll me a 1d100.
Oh, boy. All right.
Oh yeah. Okay. So we get halfway through the night of you like sleeping. It's kind of like drizzling rain as it always does in Night City. When you're kicked awake by a man pointing what appears to be some sort of handgun at you.
Wonderful. Feral. I just really, all right, yeah, all right, and just fuck off.
Give me what you want. Give me what you got. Come on, pony up.
Like cheese?
What have you got on you right now?
I mean, I ain't got any money.
I don't want your fucking money. I want what you got on you. Come on, take off your shoes. Give them to me.
I'm not gonna give the man my shoes.
Do I look like I'm fucking around, boy? He'll like cock the gun and he'll be like, "Give me your fucking shoes."
Yeah, I'm not gonna give him my shoes. These are my shitty shoes. I'll be like, you don't look my size. They're not gonna fit you too well.
So here's the thing about Night City. You want something, you gotta roll for it. Tell me what you roll to stop this man from taking your shoes. You can suggest him with suggestion type powers. You can suggest him with handgun type powers. You tell me.
You have seduction powers?
Yeah, you could fuck this man so he doesn't take your shoes. Like, what type of skills you got? You have weaponsmith, rifle, and drive. Okay, cool.
I will run him over with the vehicle while shooting at him.
I mean, you could just shoot the man.
I mean, I could shoot the man.
Yeah.
Pulls out his gun, shoots the man, goes back to sleep.
And then you have a blanket.
Just cuddle the dead body for the warmth that it provides in the short amount of time.
They get stiff after a while, and then they start farting.
So what's your answer to this man pointing a gun at you?
Would like to point my bigger gun at him.
Okay. So you do that, and what do you say?
Just
I like the idea that you're like
my
sleeping, and then you just sort of like roll over, and you have this like rifle pointed at him. You know, like
I mean, it's essentially an M16. Just like, what? Why are you bothering me at non-existent watch this hour?
Have you ever seen Fifth Element before?
Oh hell yeah!
You know that guy at the start that tries to like rob Bruce Willis by like pretending to have a picture of the hallway attached to his head, so when he looks through the thing,
the crack addict. Yeah.
It's not loaded, man.
Yeah. Essentially, like he just sort of like he's like, oh, shit, man. Like I just can I just fucking. And he just sort of like looks at you and he's just like, come on.
I just point. Just pointing. Just go.
Shit. Fuck. And he just sort of saunters off, and maybe he like, as you like roll over again, he like sort of like sticks his head back. He's like, fuck man. It's not worth that shit. Sneaks off again.
If I hear him keep talking, do I just flick the safety off? Just with stupid.
I don't know. Is your ammunition worthwhile wasting on a man who might not even have ammunition in his gun?
I mean, if he's annoying me, it's always worth wasting.
Right.
I don't think it's a waste in that case. Just, But yeah, no, I imagine that the crack addict from...
That's what I first thought of when I thought of this man. So,
I'm a meat popsicle.
No, sir, I'm a meat popsicle. Wallace West, speaking about meat popsicles, where do you sleep tonight?
The meat popsicle thing. I gotta click in universe question. Like, how like overwhelmed is the hospital? Because I'd like to. I'll just tell you, I'd like to offer like my medical services in exchange for like a couch in like the staff room or something.
Okay, so this isn't a third world country. This is America. Okay.
Yeah.
America.
You need to be a registered doctor in order to work in a fucking hospital, and I don't think. So here's the thing. Also about keeping jobs, you want to keep your job. You honestly really do. So you avoid every situation, which includes like helping random strangers or doing good by your fellow man in order to make sure that you continue to exist by having a job. So if you walked into a hospital and you said to them, "Hello, I am a doctor. I would like to help in exchange for sleeping in a cot," or some descript of that nature, you probably, if you succeeded, wouldn't get any sleep, because if you're helping during the nighttime, you're not exactly going to be sleeping. And B, they wouldn't want to risk getting terminated over the fact that they let a walk-in off the street do surgery or do general GP stuff. So imagine that, like a homeless guy walks in on the street and be like, "Yo, I'm a doctor." And it's like, "Okay, well, here's your prescription pad. Go around and prescribe drugs to people as you see fit, Mr. Dr. Hobo." You know, like it just wouldn't work like
Dr.
that.
Hobo.
You're muted, Lily.
I just thought that as a TV theory. It's like Dr. Hobo.
Dr. Hobo. So, I mean, it's a good idea, and I like your initiative, but the reality of the situation is that you probably wouldn't be able to get what you want from them. Also, because if you offered free labor, they would work you to fucking death, son. If you manage to succeed in passing that check, so.
All right, I'll just find like a cheap ass motel.
Hell yeah. Give me 40 Eurobucks.
40?
Yep.
Like, actually, I'm not sure how much I have. I gotta double check that real quick.
I mean, you did buy a block of cheese for 15 Eurobucks. So.
That was Tim.
Hey, no, yeah, that was not me. I bought just at a random crap, like chips and a soda and whatever.
That probably would have cost.
Oh, I actually.
Mm-hmm.
I actually don't have that much to spare, so I'll just like, I don't know, find some random stoop and use my bag as like a pillow or whatever.
All right, 1D100. Yo, you put yourself in a situation to get mugged, you're gonna have an opportunity to get mugged. All right, now you're good. You sleep throughout the night. All right, I guess last but not least we have Tim Wreck. Are you going to wreck the concrete by sleeping on it? Like, what's going on?
No, I think Tim would be sharing a apartment with his girlfriend.
The one that died?
No, the new one.
The new
The
one.
one that was. Yeah, the at 22 Club Affair.
Okay. Well, I mean, just because you have a female lover doesn't necessarily mean that they're a homeowner. So,
No, I mean, they share the apartment. They both pay for it, probably.
do you actually pay for it?
I'll pay for it.
Okay.
So 800.
Yes, it'll. Yes, 800.
Where would I mark that?
800. So if you're paying half, you're paying 400 a month. So do you have 400 you can pony up right now? And if you do, then I'll say
yeah,
yes.
I have 900 actually.
Okay. Congratulations. You have a home and a bed and probably a
Bathroom?
yeah, a bathroom, and you probably have working and running water and electricity. So
All right. So how would I mark that off?
just remove 450 euro bucks. Utilities are 100 euro bucks a month.
So I was at like 469. So I'd go to.
I mean, you have cash, so yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What type of food do you eat there, my man? So there are kibble, which is dog food. You have generic TV pack-in dinners. You have good pack-in dinners, and then you have fresh food.
How much is the generic TV stuff?
150 euro bucks per week. So if we're going off a month, that's 600, so 300 for you.
It's the generic stuff.
I saw that, Lily. I saw that, like, fuck, what type of game am I playing right now?
Shit's
All right.
expensive. I get enough of that bullshit in real life.
Yeah,
Right.
now you have to, like, so now you can see why like your targets might be better chosen on the fact that who you can rob and take things from and ruin the days of, but also be vigilantes. Being a vigilante doesn't mean you have to stop making a living. So yeah, that's real life. Let's do it. So you guys will wake up the next morning. We can sort of do like a montage here of you guys like maybe finding an appropriate target if you want. So are there any extra things that you guys would want to cover? Like, do you want to cover someone who like potentially has money that you can rob from? Do you want to look specifically at terrorist people? Like, do you want to go back and do Maelstrom stuff? Like, what?
Do they? So
I like to go after their money stream, their financials
Who?
of the Maelstrom himself.
Okay. Well, you need to work out what those are.
I know I can't just like get a guy. I'd have to like build intel and whatnot. But that's what I'd like to do.
Mm-hmm. What about the rest of you guys?
I was gonna say it might be good if we could find like. So their whole thing is like putting cyberware into people.
Well, basically just like causing mayhem. In a lot of cases, the Maelstrom. Let's see here.
Yeah. Well, do they just recruit people that have cyberware, or do they like give people cyberware?
No, they recruit people who have gone, who have an excessive use of cyberware in them. So the less likely they are to like humanity, the more likely they are to show up in the Maelstrom. Okay, the gang is running. Okay, so okay, so yeah. Basically they I know how they make money now, so if you guys want to do some investigation and stuff, does any of you guys have any investigation type stuff? Like, give me an idea of, let's montage this stuff.
Could I just poke around the streets and start talking to people? Can I just do a street deal roll to see if I can figure some stuff out?
Yeah, there we go. Now we're using the mechanics. Please go ahead. The DC here will be 10, but like every 5 over 10 will give you better information essentially. So
okay,
yeah.
Street deal. Boop.
Okay, 15. So 15. Yeah. So basically, like you start poking around. You started off talking to basically people walking around, and a lot of the people that you talked to were basically drunk, coming back from the New Harbor area, basically, and walking through the area. But the more time you spend in old downtown, you start to notice a couple of things. Like, for example, there seems to be a lot of private security here. And when I say private security, I mean like basically people who would be likely employed as bouncers end up being like working security at these establishments within the old downtown area. There's a couple of places that after a bit of poking around, you've noticed have started hiring independent solos for work, for keeping security up to date. But a lot of these places also don't have any security. and they seem to be fine without it as well.
So they're like getting money from protection stuff?
That's a good assumption.
Or yeah, like protection / extortion. Like,
A racket, essentially, yeah.
Right, yeah, there's a difference between like, oh, we'll actually protect you and like pay us money to not fuck you up, basically. Like,
exactly, yeah.
Reverse, yeah, like a reverse protection kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. And if you investigate the the grocery store they were in before, you notice that they don't have any extra security, right?
Yeah.
So it's safe to assume that the person who accosted you before was potentially a part of the racket.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so I think I'll bring that information back to the group, and I guess like if anybody has any ideas as to how to get in on that, like, or disrupt that somehow. Also, very importantly, funnel some of that this way, because you know, I've got $50 to my name.
Yeah, if you remember the Back Alley Brawlers actually do run a protection racket in the Upper East Side as well. So the actual minutiae of that type of business model isn't lost to you or anyone else for that matter.
Yeah.
So
could we like go talk to the shopkeepers and stuff and like try to extend that deal from the BAB? Is that like something we could?
You can. And these are and you guys have enough goons to be able to make that a reality as well. Like the part of the like you don't have a lot of money floating around, but you have enough enthusiastic gang members to make serving a protection racket a really good idea. However, having said that, the moment you step into this territory officially is the moment that you're throwing down the gauntlet. So I want to make you 100% aware of that. But that is, in fact, something that you can do.
Okay.
We can pick and choose the business as well, because we can literally see every single business on this map. So you guys can make an idea and informed decision as to which business you wish to protect. Any other ideas for information you guys want to try and get over the next week or so?
I'd like to visit like some like cash only businesses like laundromats and whatnot, and I want to see like how well like run they are, because like do they have like a bouncer out front? Do they look real nice? Do they have people going into the back room and like not leaving or whatnot? Basically, I'm looking for like money laundering operations.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So like sit like across from like a pawn shop and like eat chips I got from the store, then walk off. And then like the next day I'll jog by, like, exercise, whatever.
Dude, you really need to stop reading the Night City book, dude. Like, you really need to stop reading it.
I didn't. I really didn't. Like,
yeah, you knew about the laundromat that's laundering money by.
No. I literally did not. I did not read it. Like, where I got it from. No, the accountant. Christopher Nolan. Not Christopher Nolan. Shit. What's his name?
I know the movie.
I was basing it after that, where it's like a string of like cash only businesses and like a little mini mall that he kept laundering his money through. That's what I was going through. Like, I honestly did not read it.
Yeah. I mean, it's a very common theme in modern television.
All right, so this particular laundromat is called...
You could pick somewhere else if you need to. Like,
no, you brought it up. All you need to know is don't read the book too much, right? So this place right here, 5. It's called Tong's Laundry. And this place is is pretty much as you investigated. Okay, actually, you know what? Give me a fucking roll. I'm not gonna give you this for free. Give me a fucking roll of some description. Because just because you read the book doesn't mean your character knows about it. So.
Okay, so I got a streetwise and awareness/notice. Which one would you like?
I mean, you tell me.
Oh, I'll take awareness notice. That one's higher.
All right, so yeah, this involves you staking out the place, and if you got a fumble, that probably would have been a bad result for you. So what'd you actually roll there? An 8. Okay.
I got a 20.
How are you rolling a 7 on your awareness/notice?
I got a 5.
Yeah, but you got. Oh, that's your intelligence, right? Okay, makes sense. So yeah, the one thing you've given the information that Vera gave you, specifically about the region, this particular place here that you've noticed doesn't have any sort of corporate extra security. So basically, the stuff you see going in and out of it is that it mostly does linens and uniforms for hospitals and security firms. So a lot of the actual stuff that they do isn't like specific for people. It's very much like a warehouse laundromat, and less about like walk-ins and stuff. That is a part of the business that they have, but it's not their business, if that makes sense. And basically, they have shutters on the door. They don't give a fuck about what goes on in the street outside. There could be a guy getting stabbed, and there could be people in there still doing their laundry and not giving a shit. So, yeah.
All right, then.
That's what you know about.
Like as we get together,
Don't read the book anymore, please.
I didn't. I really did not read it. About that. But yeah, I'll bring like my notes to the group. Said, hey, this is a place that we might need to check out later. Could I, like, I'd like to cross-reference with Vera, like, people that I've seen. Like, has she seen anybody that matches the descriptions of anyone that I saw going into this place?
What is your class again?
Like,
MedTech?
Yeah.
Do you have any way of documenting the people?
Pencil and paper.
See, okay, I'm willing to allow this sort of thing to happen, but like,
okay, just like what are you looking for? Just like lay it out.
Specifically, like documenting like actual physical features of people. In a lot of cases, in my eyes, requires photography or any sort of way of like actually like taking a particular picture of this. What exactly are your aims to? You want to see whether she's run into people that are a part of the gang that you've seen going in and out of this place? Is that what you want?
Yes. Like, see if we've seen the same people, and then that might be someone we're talking to, or taking a baseball bat to its knees, one or the other.
I would say, at least for the questioning that Vera's done, there's no chance that you two have seen the same people yet.
Okay.
Anyone else? Atomic, what would you have liked to done during this week?
Honestly, I don't really know. Like, outside of it's already been done as far as like intel gathering goes.
Yeah, I mean, there's particular things you can do with jury rig that would allow you to. So one of the things that you have.
Could he make us some bugs?
It's not so much that, like, you can't really make that sort of stuff. I mean, you can basically take apart like a bunch of other shit to make it. Like, you'd need like basic, you need like a bunch of like scrap metal and shit like that to do it. Having said that, though, like, when it comes to things like weapon tech, electronic security, and all that sort of shit, like the stuff that you have as a jury rig, like, you could potentially find hotspots with other people's information and take a look at the security inside of those places. Like, if your intention is to take over or be the security force for a particular place, working out what type of security they have in place already is going to be beneficial to you guys. So there are things you can do.
Yeah, I mean, probing security systems, seeing where weak links are, or even things like, oh, is this building connected to this one? Well, that's probably worth investigating. Why?
Okay. Yeah, so why don't we leave a roll from you for last, and then we can get an idea which buildings you want to go to. But I guess Tim, Rec, how would you like to help?
I'm just gonna walk around the area and basically case it. Look what seems interesting.
So if you want something, you have to roll. That's basically how it works.
Yeah. Okay. I'll roll my awareness/notice.
Are you going for anyone in particular, or like the entire place?
The entire place.
Which place are you looking at?
Just like looking through the.
Because if you're doing generic
downtown.
overlooking everything, you're not going to get specific details, but you will get generic details. So is there a particular place you want to case?
Maybe like down near 19 and 15.
I mean, that's
Like
a lot of
towards-
buildings, so...
Just like, I don't know.
Well, give me a particular building, and then I'll give you information about that building.
Maybe I'll case 15 then. Looks interesting.
Okay. These guys... This building is called... it's shaped like a car, right? This building. It's shaped like a stylized classic Barasan VS7, a car made popular by the 3D Bond flicks in the early 2000s. Contains the area's experts in international espionage. The place is called the Counterintelligence Associates, not the CIA from the government. That's something else entirely. They advertise themselves as practitioners in counter surveillance, but their reps are hired as consultants to assist with other, less ethical operations. Spy gadgets can be bought here, infrared driving assemblies, and foil oil sprayers. Bug detectors, gas bombs hidden in ballpoint pens, you name it. They can even redo your car. They will not deign to give you a catalog of quote prices unless you're a corp of some resource. So you walk in there pretending to be someone, right, after you case it out. And then when they work out that you don't have money, they kindly ask you to leave. But yeah.
Okay then.
But as you walk in, like in terms of security and stuff like that, these guys have their own internal security force. And that's made very apparent because, they go for the sunglasses with, suit jacket sort of style look that you'd expect a man, the man, shake my fist, to actually have. So,
All right. So 15 is definitely not a building we need to worry about. What about...
And that pretty much surmises a whole week. But Atomic, is there anything that you wanted to look into specifically, given all that information?
Yeah, I'm looking at the...
You do have awareness/notice, so you can essentially do the same thing.
Yeah, I'm doing that. Just trying to... I was looking at the buildings. Sorry, I thought Chrome crashed for a minute.
What are you looking at?
I want to look for junction boxes, like those big ones you see on the end of you see like telecommunications stuff running into.
Yeah, sure.
If there's any, I mean, a lot of buildings are sure common ones, but if there's any ones that anybody else has either noticed or God, I'm just looking at my brain.
So you're looking for a junction box to do what?
want to see what buildings are linked together as far as maybe share the same security networks.
Okay, for what? Okay, give me an idea of your intent here, because I understand that you're looking to see where you can start like doing turn-offs, like, and what buildings would be affected by the security outage, right? But what's your intent exactly?
I'm trying to ascertain if there might be like if there are multiple buildings linked together in some way, like why would they be linked together if not for somebody to keep an eye on all of them as far as like security systems and stuff go?
I think you're overestimating the maelstrom to a degree. You're thinking more like corp security than anything else. These guys are like what you would find is anything that you'd find regarding that, like, would leave you down basically a rabbit hole that, like, and you're intelligent enough to understand that, you know, looking at this, it looks like it has nothing really related to what you're attempting to do. However, what you do find with a crit in your awareness/notice is that there are other factors in play here, right? You start finding things like, oh, okay, well, this isn't standard wiring. I wonder why it's like that. And you start checking like the intersections of all this place, and you start noticing the same thing. Like, oh, that's weird. Why are there like, why do these cabling go to like security cameras that shouldn't be here? These aren't government issue. Things like that. Like, you're starting to find that there are more in this area than what should be here. And they're definitely not supposed to be here from what you understand about how these junctions do actually function.
Stuff that definitely shouldn't be there unless they've got something to keep an eye on.
However, it's safe to assume that this is well outside the general operating ideas of gang warfare, you know? Like, so there are definitely, I mean, Night City is all about, like, the man fucking people and, you know, other people doing things, and there might be a particular gang who's particularly good at this. Maybe there's like some sort of international like underground surveillance group or something like that. Who knows? Like, but you've essentially stumbled upon the particular nesting of surveillance that was well hidden.
Like a government listening post? Like, not exactly that, but something along the lines of that.
Oh, you're not aware of where these things go. Like, all you know is that these are this is what was written, put here. They're not like they're not. It's not like it's like a CCTV. Like, there are those everywhere because it's like the future and the government like watches everyone. But these are like additional things. So, yeah, that's what you guys find within the week. But, you know, just to reiterate, you are aware that the maelstrom basically affects this area with a racket for protection. Protection from themselves, mostly. You know of the CIA in the region, and you know of a coin-operated laundromat that has no protection on it, which you could safely assume is protected by the maelstrom. Outside of that, you also know that the government is doing something here. Or not the government, but anyone really with power is doing something here. Yeah, I feel like you guys have a better grasp of where you want to go. Like, can I get an idea essentially so I can do a little bit of prep work for next week? But where would you guys like to take this? Do you want to see if you can start taking territory over here? Like, start muscling in on like some of the businesses in this region for protection?
Probably. Yeah.
I'd like to hit their assets before we start like muscling in and taking over territory. That's what I would do anyway.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, Tim has bills to pay.
Tim has bills to pay. Yeah, I mean, like,
also because I want to steal all of their shit.
Well, I mean, like, that's sort of hard to nail down exactly what that means. You're saying that you want to muscle in and take their stuff, but there's still, like, for example, you don't know where they're operating out of. Don't read the fucking book.
I closed the book as soon as after the pawn shop. I closed the book.
Okay.
You have my solemn word, Dave.
Okay.
After taking a couple of screenshots.
After reading the entire manual, I've closed the book, Dave. But yeah, so we can start working on finding a business for you guys to take over. Like, this is how I imagine this game to work, right? You guys sort of like investigate particular gangs, work out what they're doing, work out how you can start pushing back against them. And once you guys actually start making rivalries with gangs and such like that, the game will like unflower like a budding rose. And we can get more stories of Vera trying to find places to sleep at night. So that's always fun. But yeah, like you guys are 3 weeks off from getting paid, so you got a bit of groundwork to do before you can actually make some money. And yeah, I think that's where we're going to end today's session. Nice and quick. Where are you guys feeling now? Like, is this sort of the direction you want this game to take, or would you like a more structured game? Because I can do either one at this point. So.
I like how it's going right now.
Give it one more session.
Okay.
I like how it's going right now because I loved the dairy thing.
Yeah, I mean, all these sorts of things are in the book. Like, all these encounters are actually scripted out in the book as well. Like, that whole thing was actually from the actual book itself, like of the encounter table that they have for each of these regions and stuff like that. And like, what this game is like, I could formulate a plot for you guys to run in, but every time I've done that in this game, no one ever actually fucking like sticks to the plot. So this time it's mostly a sandbox. So I'd like to see how you guys jump in and start taking over territory and stuff like that. And I'm sure when you actually start making moves on these people, it'll be a lot more interesting. So let's do some shout outs then. Yeah. Lily, start with you. Where can people find you?
Hey everybody, I'm Lily. You can find me Lilipad Nibilla and all the stuff. Right now, I'm not doing too much streamy wise. We got our game on Wednesday. Some kind of Rego D&D. It's a lot of fun though.
Yeah.
Probably try to get more stuff going soonish once I get more games. But yeah, like we were talking about at the beginning, I'm a little. I'm not in a bunch of stuff at the moment, but hopefully sometime soonish. Yeah, thanks for hanging out with us. I hope you had fun.
Atomic, let's talk about you. Where can people find you?
Atomic Spoon on the Twitch, Atomic Spoon on the Twitter. I stream Arma on Sundays and Wednesdays, and then of course, if the server gods be willing, I'm the Cyber Priest. Hopefully my WoW server's up and running, and I can actually play the expansion.
Yeah. I mean, I'm interested to look at some people playing it, but I can always guarantee the moment I start looking at someone playing WoW, I'm just going to be like, okay, yeah, it's WoW. I don't know what I expected. So.
I like doing mythic rating, that sort of thing, not necessarily like the leveling. I haven't really kept up the lore so much the past couple of years, but yeah.
Okay. And doctorsirus, where can people find you? Are you on the internet yet?
I am on your Discord, and that's about it so far.
Okay. And,
you can find me there writing crappy fan fiction.
And Mr. Watchman, where can people find you if you're on the internet?
You can only find me here.
All right.
I am a loser.
Jesus. All right, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed tonight's session of Cyberpunk 2020. It is... this is what this game is, and this is what this game is designed for. If we aren't feeling it, though, I can create a very interesting story, and we can go from there. I would love to keep pecking away at this sandbox stuff a little more, and see if you guys can make an organic story out of it. If not, if you don't feel comfortable, just let me know, guys. The GM needs to be reactive to what the players want. So if it's not working, we can change it. No big deal. Yeah, I just need to know in advance so I can prepare. But until then, tomorrow we will have Noose. Should be, if everyone's available. I believe everyone is. It's been a while since we played that game. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. We'll see you when we see you. Have a good one.
I could use some cheese right now.
Bye-bye.